Bear with me, folks. Bear with me, folks, on YouTube, yeah? It's going to be about 5 minutes. Yeah. I hope you can hear this, folks. Do me a favor, drop me a comment. Let me know that you can hear this. Oh. Hey folks! Oh, a bit different tonight. Blimey. Oh. I do hope you can hear this, people. I can hear it. Cool. They can hear it. Yeah. Actually running about 4 minutes late, people. Yeah, you've seen the name of the show, yeah? Bloody screen's frozen. I'll tell you what, I'm trying to get the show on the road, people. Oh, I'll tell you, bloody hell. We'll get there. Oh, bollocks. Yeah, I'm on Discord, I'm having you. Couple of minutes, folks. Way. Feel like one of those guys in the fairground. You remember them on the waltzers?
You're piping.
Oh yeah, they're getting funky in the green room. Oh, blimey. Oh. All right. Oh, must have been that curry. Nearly there, folks. I hope everyone's awake. Oh, blimey. Oh, right, that's it. Right. Oh no. There you go. Oh dear. There you go. There you go. All right.
All right. How's it going?
The show has actually started now. Trying to remember what it's called.
The Daily Chaos.
I've lost my script. Oh, I'll tell you what. Doesn't matter. It's the Daily Chaos. Yeah. Oh, hold on. Oh, blimey. It's a late night edition. Yeah, fancy starting out on a late night. Kind of a dress rehearsal.
Doing well.
I've got no script. I've got two co-hosts and neither of them are here. Loads of people in the green room. Hey! They're quiet. I need to work that out. Oh, hold on. Yeah, this is the very first ever Daily Chaos. Oh, you know what? We ain't got Brexit. It's Brino all the way. I couldn't be bothered. I'm just gonna take that out of it now, yeah? It ain't happening. I tell you what, I'm going to still fight for it. But yeah, the show's changed a bit. Show's changed a bit. Oh. Right.
I've been telling people the only solution for a long time, and they haven't listened to me. They haven't learned yet, Ollie.
Yeah.
We need to do what Guy Fawkes failed at.
yeah, you.
Bloody lot up, blow the Houses of Parliament down, drag them all out, kicking and screaming, and put ropes around their necks.
Oh, blimey, that's Jeff. Predator Jeff, yeah. Oh, I'll tell you what. What have you done the last few nights, Predator? You must have been a, sorry mess without being able to come on the Daily Brexit.
I know, It's felt weird not having the daily Brexit. You know,
there's no Brexit, mate. There's no Brexit. There's no Brexit. I'll tell you what, though, we've got to keep fighting. Oh, don't get me wrong. But I just got fed up with it. I was getting depressed, doing a show called The Daily Brexit when in my heart, I don't see any Brexit going on. It really frustrated me. And so I thought, you know what? I need to be a bit more rude and take the piss a bit more as well, frankly. And so anyway, and I think, Predator Jeff, you will probably say something about that as well. We've got Carl Stephen here, Chelts, Adam Chelts, Chrissy Morris, David Wolf, and Glenn Rocky Teal, and Lopi, and Sam Jayne Pearson. Can you hear me? She's supposed to be a co-host on this bloody show. Sam?
Ollie, just a pointer. Sam, if you can hear us, if you get yourself out of Discord and re-enter, sometimes you can't demute your mic. Oh,
just need to mute,
Done it. There you go. Hi, Sam.
Can you hear me?
Hi, right. Sam.
Hi, Sammy.
Can you hear
That's
me?
That's amazing. Yeah.
Yes, we can hear you.
That's great. That's fantastic. Sam, go on.
Hi.
We haven't had a single conversation about this show. Well, some of the topics involved, possibly. Yeah. Sam, yeah, okay. We'll have a chat. And also, Alex is supposed to be coming in. Alexander Sangmoore and Sam Jayne Pearson are co-hosting this show. Sam, qualify yourself, girl. Blimey. She barely got on Discord, I'll tell you.
I'm here.
Sam, yeah, I'm expecting some salacious gossip from you, yeah? I'm expecting to have to field libel suits left, right, and centre,
Right.
and yeah, we'll just have to choose which ones we want.
But can the girl explain who she is? Because most of the listeners don't know who she is, and I don't know either.
Sammy,
Can you say who you are? Sell yourself and let everybody know who's listening to who you are. I'm Cole Stephen, by the way.
Most people probably know me as Sam Jayne Pearson. And I admin lots of groups on Facebook.
yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't want to get in Sam's way, I'll tell you what. Yes, indeed. And she has been here looking after Brexit for some time, and fantastic, really wonderful, and is quite a character. And I think we're going to have an interesting chat, or several, Sam, over the, you know.
What's your hot topics, Sam?
Am I in?
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
you
Helen.
are.
Helen Lasky-Smith's here too.
I found it.
Ollie, I need to
Hello?
ask you something. Ollie, you
I'm
used the
actually
word.
on Discord. My God.
Ollie,
How
you
many
used the
months?
word salacious. You're using big words tonight, and it's making both my brain cells struggle.
I
tell you.
know. That's clicking the back of the word.
It's late.
Right,
I-
ladies and gentlemen, right, we're all over talking each other. If you're not going to talk, mute your mic. There's 10 people in the room, and there's going to be coming more. So if you're not talking, mute your mic. When Ollie
It's practical.
can see when you demute yourself, you know when you're going to come in to talk.
He's practical as our
Okay.
Carl.
It's going to get very confusing otherwise.
Yeah.
Okay, then.
Nothing.
That's right. I'll tell you what though, Helen,
Yes.
what did you want to talk about tonight, particularly?
Well, I
anything?
don't know yet, so I've just got a blank screen at the minute.
You got a blank screen? Are
Yeah,
we
I've
actually
got
going
it
out on
on, but my
Facebook
screen-
properly? Are we? We are.
Put me on
Yeah.
Facebook.
We are
Okay,
we?
then I'll go on to Facebook.
Well,
then.
we're on YouTube as well, and it should be better on YouTube from the point of view of the
I've been-
comments.
I've been put me on
Yeah. Oh.
Facebook. Okay, I'll do
We
that.
are we?
Okay, then I'll go on to Facebook.
Well,
then.
we're on YouTube
Okay.
as well, and it should be better on YouTube
Yeah.
from the point of view
Yeah,
of the
I've been-
comments.
I've been
Hold
put me
on, yeah, sorry.
Facebook. Okay, I'll do
We
that.
are we?
Okay, then I'll
How do
go
I
on
get
to
rid of that?
Facebook.
Well,
then.
we're on YouTube
Okay.
as well, and it should be better on YouTube
Yeah.
from the point of
Yeah,
view of
I've
the
been-
comments.
I've been
Hold
put me
on, yeah, sorry.
Facebook. Okay, I'll do
We
that.
are
Okay,
we?
then
What a pain.
Okay.
Sorry,
That's
excuse
true
me, Helen.
daily chaos, that is.
I'll tell you what a
Amazing.
nightmare. I had to get rid of that tab. What a nightmare. I'll tell you what, should we have a look and see what's going on in the world of, true chaos? Yeah. Ordo ab chao, yeah? That's what it's about. That's what this show's about. The show is not daily, yeah? But the chaos is. And so I thought we'd have a look at it and consider the chaos. Oh, balls. Right. So.
Is it order out of chaos, though, or is it chaos out of order?
Blimey. There we go. Oh, and now I can't. Oh, dear. How do I get rid of that then? Hold on. There you go.
Ellie,
Oh,
Yeah.
guess what I did today? I went to Columbus
there
for
we
my
go.
first class for the transplant.
Is that you, Lopi?
And July 5th is when I'll go to my evaluation.
That's Lopi there.
You know, jump to the fire hoops and all that.
Yeah.
I'm on the way to getting onto the list proper.
Oh,
So
that's brilliant news. Lovely, Lopi. I just sent you a message.
my fistula.
Yes.
Once Lope's had her kidney transplant, we've just got to get her a brain transplant then.
Well, I've offered her one of mine, but we've got to see if I'm a match.
I did
Okay.
ask her today
I'm
about
here.
I did ask about a double transplant today, and he said, "What do you mean a double transplant?" I said, "Well, do you do lobotomies at the same time I can do my kidneys?" And everybody in the class kind of giggled.
What do you mean?
I did
Yeah.
find it funny the other day when Lopi put on her Facebook something about looking for a donor, and she spelled it DONER. I said, "What are you looking for? A kebab transplant or a kidney transplant?"
My spelling is abysmal. I know that, but I wouldn't mind that.
I'm with you on that, Lopi. My shite.
If somebody wants to donate a kebab to me, feel free, because I'm feeling a bit peckish at the moment.
Okay. All right. Should we have a look and see what's going on? See what's going on, or what they say is going on.
Have a blast.
Well, all the tabs, yeah. Well, most of them, yeah. This is this morning, yeah. Is nothing sacred. How on earth can the FA even think of selling Wembley Stadium when your money paid to build it twice? That sounds a bit like laying down the cable for the phones and the plumbing and everything else that we sold off was privatized, you know. A kick in the, well, bollocks, basically. Yeah, according to the Star, the Sun, they think it's all over. 1 billion NFL deal for iconic England HQ. I'll tell you what, guys, the idea of American football, NFL, that's American football, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh dear. I mean, it's just rubbish.
Are we not used to them stripping and selling our assets? We're not used to them doing it by now. Cripes, they've been doing it for freaking 30, 40 years.
American football. It's appalling stuff. Awful. Can you imagine it? At Wembley. American football. Incredible. Anyway, that's where it's going.
More
What?
often than there is a football match.
They wear shoulder
I
pads.
don't know.
Disgusting.
Either that or the Trump faces London ban as president's visit to Britain is confirmed, and how predictable left-wing rabble-rousers call for mass demonstrations. Trump faces London ban. Oh, it's just rubbish. Cosby the sex predator. Yeah, no. Trump to meet the Queen. So that's, yeah. And Amber Rudd. Now, Amber Rudd, yeah. So she's been getting all politically correct about Windrush latterly, like 10 years too late or whatever, when May should have been on the case or whatever. It struck me when she gave that apology. What was it she said? We had the utmost regret, something like that, the government, for this scandal. Well, what about the utmost regret for the entire British people that you've gone and railroaded us into this EU thing that nobody ever voted for? 30, 10, 48, all that. Where's the utmost regret for that? There's not even a debate about that. It's just, it seems to me, and people have mooted this point around and about, this whole Windrush thing has been blown up. The fans have been flamed purposely as a way to distract from this opportunity that Britain has with the Commonwealth, and towards instead there being this story that Britain can't look after migrants, it's bad with, other people sort of thing, and therefore it can't be trusted, so far as the EU is concerned with X, Y, Z. It's been used twice over, really, as a sort of like a double stabbing instrument politically, it seems to me. Quite aside from the fact that, the Windrush president, that of course, of course, these people, they're invited in and they are of us and us them. No, I mean, we're pretty much the same, same values, I think. That's not the point. The point is, I think that this situation has been politicized. What do you guys think about that?
Well, it's been drug out.
Go on, David. David Wolf.
This issue has been dragged out from the closet to be thrown in our faces to try, like you say, distract us from what is truly going on. I also see it, like you said, making us feel like we can't sort our immigration problem out. Because yes, we do have a massive problem with immigrants and immigration, but they're trying to point the finger at the wrong immigrants. It's a weird one. Definitely, but it's been definitely used now as a weapon, as a politicized tool.
Glenn, you've been quiet so far tonight.
Can you hear me?
Well, I've been listening to other people and
good on you, mate.
People have a speak.
That's fine. That's fine. Helen, what do you want to say?
Well, I'm looking for you again. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
We got you.
You can. Oh, that's all right then. What do I want to say? Well, I just get there's so much we can't speak, we can't think, we can't say such words, we can't do anything. I'm just bemused. I just cannot get my head around this. It's ridiculous.
I know of a manager that got told off.
I don't even feel British anymore.
That's the point. That's the point of the agenda, you see, to strip down national sovereignty.
I'll never give up.
Can I make a point here?
Go on, Carl.
Stephen,
I'm down to ask someone, but
one sec, James. 1 sec, sir. Go on, Carl.
The problem with the Jamaicans who were invited into our country and become British citizens, and it's their kin what's got the problem.
Mm-hmm.
But to listen to...
That's a different kind of a problem, though, isn't it?
To listen to a Conservative MP, Boris Johnson, making the point of amnesty for people who shouldn't be here, and if they've been here for 10 years, we'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Gone from one thing to the other. They're creating the situation, they're creating the problem, and then they're solving the problem. But Boris, as daft as he is, I actually do like Boris. But as daft as he is, why is he playing that game?
Well, he's called for that a couple of times. He's called for the amnesty of illegal immigrants a couple of times prior to this as well. But you can see that they're using this broad brush to try and legitimise all illegal immigrants, so they can get them all into our system and all of them paying taxes.
Like ISIS fighters.
Is Boris Johnson a Zionist? Just asking.
I'm not sure if I've seen him on the Bilderberg list, but he does act like one.
Yeah.
I've got a question, and that's been puzzling me for quite some
Lopi.
time.
Yep.
Now, I know in America it is considered illegal to do a public prayer or anything like that, religious sort of thing, out on the street in public areas. Now, is that not the same in England? And
I've seen Muslims praying in the streets of New York.
Is it allowed for Muslims to do that?
Lopi, I've seen Muslims praying on the streets of New York and not being arrested for it. So I think they're trying to do it all over the world, it's against park regulations. on Speaker's Corner to pray.
That's what I'm getting at.
So,
Why?
I think they're trying to do it all over the world, it's against park regulations on Speaker's Corner to pray.
That's what I'm getting at. Why?
I think they're trying to do it all over the world,
hold on.
It's
Sorry.
against park regulations.
I put this in moderation. It's Carl Stephen again. Can I put this in moderation? The Muslim people in this country is only 10% of the country. So even though you're all talking about it being a problem, what they're doing, it's only in the main parts of London, Manchester and Birmingham where they might be doing it.
That's what they want to do. They want to attack the system within.
But then if you think about it, Carl...
down the road and someone obstructing the road and doing what I understand exactly what you're saying. I'm not for it against it, but it's only in the major cities they have this problem.
I want to ask Glenn, sorry, did you...
Why is it okay for Muslims to stick their bums up in the air in the middle of nowhere or in the middle of the road or sidewalk or wherever you want to be, and yet if a Christian or any other faith person wants to go and stand on the corner and recite Bible verses with each other, why are they being ushered away? Why are everyone else being told you can't do this? This is against regulations, against laws, and yet anything about them? It's okay to have your ass up in the air.
Luciferians.
I'm gonna start praying to Jesus with my bum in the air. That way, nobody can yell at me.
Oh, it's mad, isn't it? Open. Absolutely mad. And we'll ask Glenn, so did you see what Nathan posted during the week? God, that was a bit mad, like, not mentioning names.
Oh, yes, I do.
Yeah.
I haven't listened to it at all, in all honesty.
I'd love Nathan to post the evidence, because I reckon he's got it.
Hello, somebody's having problems on Facebook.
I got involved in that, and Sam, you did too, a little bit. What is all that about? Let's just have a bit of that gossip.
I don't know. It's hard to tell. I mean, someone that comes on the scene from nowhere, making such an impact. If you look back over history, there's absolutely no campaigning for Brexit at all. And I don't know, it worries me.
Apparently, Nathan
there is no evidence, is there? Really,
there is evidence.
There's some people say that there is evidence. I haven't personally seen any evidence on either side to prove either side.
I know when she turned up in Birmingham, the man that she was with was more than a wealthy person.
Who are you talking about, Glenn?
That was
Who are you talking about?
Robert.
Robert Ainsworth.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, he's claiming to be funding the Dragons. I wonder how much money they've actually seen.
No, if you watch her video, she actually looks dead guilty.
None's been.
She's like, I'm like, I'm onto you now. You don't listen. I grew up with Scousers, like, she played. Oh.
There is no evidence against this girl. The only thing is that she's hanging around with this guy who I have called a fraud. And yeah, he is. He absolutely is a mass manipulator.
Stuff.
But that doesn't mean that she is in any way tarred with that brush.
I think Nathan's in a better position to explain it. You get Nathan on there, because I know he's honest. You can tell. I met him in outside Madden 2 sorts when we were doing that operation. We had little. Do you remember we were all stood there ITV, you popped up next to Angela, and Nathan was stood there. Do you remember that? On that day?
It does seem to me, in fairness to this person involved here and other people, that there are campaigns going on to divide us from within. And it is easy to rush to judgment, no? We have to be very careful. We have to be very careful. On the other hand, we got a problem because we do have people dividing us from within. I mean,
yes.
You're saying, go on,
Olly,
Sam.
what you've got to understand is you've got people coming in that, like I say, have come from nowhere, setting up marches.
Haven't we all?
Sam,
we've all come from nowhere.
Yes,
you could argue.
You've got people that have actually organised marches, telling them that they're not doing it properly, that it's not going to work, and no one's listening, and then it doesn't work.
So you think that there is an important event that's being divided? Basically, is your accusation there?
I'm just hoping that everybody, like, it's no one's event. It's no one's event. You turn up and and you march for Brexit.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you do.
Yeah.
Everyone turns up and marches for Brexit. It's a no banner thing. You're marching for Brexit. You're not marching on behalf of anyone but yourself and Brexit. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Show up. That's it. There's no ifs or buts. There's no dividing. There's no anything. You just show up.
Okay. So there's not really any particular gossip there, is there? On the other hand...
You need to get Nathan in there, man. I'm telling you, he probably touched on it. Apparently he's seen things. I've asked him to see the evidence as well, but he's not willing to show it yet. You have to get in touch with him, Olly.
Yeah, see. Yeah.
What we have to remember is we are going up against one of the biggest opponents we have ever seen. We are going up against the British establishment. They have been established for a chuffing long time, and they are chuffing powerful, and they have a lot of experience.
You've got to know what you're up against. Bloody Freemasons. Freemasons will go to extreme lengths, I'm telling you. But we've got it. The only way to counter it is just be honest. Give them no leeway. We've got nothing to hide. We are. We're telling the truth.
But the point I was trying to make is they know exactly how to use Vipers. They know exactly how to send the right sort of people into the right sort of areas to touch the right buttons and lead things from within. They have done this many other people, many other times. Look at the EDL. They were infiltrated. Look at UKIP. They were infiltrated. It's one of their major tactics is infiltration. And they've got a very good understanding.
Especially the Jesuits. The Jesuits are fantastic at it. Probably the best at it. They started the Illuminati.
I'll tell you what, closer to home, James, no disrespect, but it has to be said, I wonder if JRE wasn't enticed from UKIP because of this character, Robert Ainsworth. And I wonder how many UKIP supporters also were enticed because of this guy and his vision, in inverted commas.
He's clearly deep state. Part of it.
Either that or he's somehow got a, I don't know, messianic complex.
I read one of Glenn's comments. She said she's been doing it for months, and I think Glenn might have something to say.
But doesn't actually do anything. Sorry?
Mm-hmm.
Go on, James.
I said, Glenn might know something. I want to know because.
Glenn, what do you know? What do you know? Because you actually do know a few things, as I understand.
Well,
so.
Loose lips sink ships.
Okay, fair play. Fair play. Yeah. Bit of gossip, though. Look, this is a kind of a Billy Bonus-y type edition. Yeah, late night. Yeah, it's pretty chilled.
One thing I'm going to say is symbolism is their downfall. Okay?
Right.
Symbolism is their downfall. That explains a lot. If you want to go and look into photos of what these people have, then I would say.
Has Nathan sent you the evidence?
Nathan sent me. I've never.
Okay,
spoken
there
to
was
Nathan.
there was a photo that was
also,
used for what, an avatar or something like that, and apparently it had some kind of iconry which was quite esoteric. Is that the deal?
Yes,
that is the
that's one of
only.
them.
That's the only real. Well, okay. Okay.
And there are people from intelligence who are ex-military and also ex-police who have said that her style of talking, the way things are purposely put across, is in such a way to gather intelligence rather than to give intelligence, so to speak. And that's come from a number of sources. I don't claim to be someone who can read someone of like that, but I think we all know kind of what them sort of people are like. There is also actual evidence, but I don't have it, so I can't say here it is, and I know what it exactly is, so I can't say it. But I trust the people that say it's there.
Nathan is really honest.
I don't know. I've never spoken to Nathan, and
to be honest with you,
that's not the person that I'm dealing with.
Well, yeah, okay. I've just sent a message to, this. Hey, what? Pardon, James? Go on.
You know, Nathan Blackhair lives in Kent.
Mm-hmm.
He's the one who's got the evidence. He's got it, apparently. But
apparently.
You need to get in touch with him, Ollie.
Yeah, apparently that is. That's not 100% certain.
There's deeper things as well. Deeper things.
Yeah.
So, can we leave this?
Sounds pretty weird. Sure. It all sounds a bit odd. Okay, I don't know. I don't know what to think, really. Anyway, but Sam, any more to add to about this?
What, Robert? Or?
Well, I mean, so far as Robert's concerned, I think the best thing is just to wait and see what happens, yeah? I mean, I would have thought the dragons would basically wake up.
Yeah, well, hopefully everyone else has.
Had to.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what he did.
Nathan putting it on there. None of us would actually know, so, you know.
He certainly tried to manipulate this show. And it seems to me he tried to manipulate a lot of people. Anyway, yeah, okay, right.
And if he's got that person in his tentacles, or vice versa, you never know. Then you've got a bad cocktail there.
Right. Okay. Let's have a look and see what else is going on.
Nick Finn's in the green room, and I think he's out of toilet paper.
Good Lord.
Who's out of toilet?
Look at that.
Who's out of toilet paper, low P?
Finn in the green room. Oh, he's out. He's all right now.
Michael Finley, can you hear me, sir? Michael Finley, calling from California. He'll work out his mic.
Bless him.
Yeah.
Poor California.
Oh,
your state back. I really do.
Well, they've had a lot of problems in California this last year. A lot of problems. So
poverty won for them.
I thought we could ask him about, how he's doing. He was telling me he was on the show. Was Michael Finley a little while ago, and he was saying how the fires that were devastating parts of California were across the road from his office block. So anyway, we'll find out what's going on with him when he's sorted out his microphone or whatever. So what else is going on? Yeah, let's have a look. I guess actually, you know what? The big story, the story that I should have led with clearly, with hugs and handshakes, North Korea's smiling Kim lightens the summit mood, and it actually really does look quite good at the moment over there.
Did you see notice the picture behind it though? Notice the picture behind him and Pompeo.
Yeah. Where?
Look at all of the other
Which
pictures. So look at the background of the picture.
They were in the demilitarized zone. They were in the area where North Koreans get shot and killed by border guards when they try to cross. That's where they were. And they sat down and they had a chat in there and held hands like, you know, Trump and Macron. And then they said, yeah, let's go for peace. I tell you, this Kim Jong-un is he's a one, isn't he? He's quite a one. Who knows?
But
we might fluke ourselves into a benevolent dictator in North Korea or something.
Well,
said it was going to happen, didn't I? I said it was going to happen.
Or Korea might have just agreed to have a Rothschild bank.
Oh.
No. They've just been freed from the CIA. The last thing they're going to want is a Rothschild bank.
What do you mean they've just been freed from the CIA?
North Korea was a CIA state. It was their holding ground.
Excuse me. Blimey. Excuse me. Apologies. I tried to get to the mute thing. I couldn't get there in time.
Yeah, it's CIA. It's a CIA stronghold. It was their state. That's why they had all of this technology. They was doing all of these nukes. Deep state that thought they had it all, and then Trump came along and gave everyone else another option. And then the military go, right, now we can do what we was going to do. And we're in the process of it being done at the moment. The Strozen page redacted text to come out, but the unredacted will be coming out very shortly.
The Strozen what?
Strozen page, the FBI agents that have been working together for the bringing down of Trump and administration.
The coups.
The coups, yes. The deep state operatives.
We got Stav in the comments saying Kim was schooled in Switzerland. Same old divide and rule, says Mark Deere. And John Middleton, Jack and Jill went up the hill and fetched a pail of spunk. Jill fell down and left the catastrophe. Lots of love. Thanks, John. Divide and conquer, William Davis. Yeah.
Does anybody here still think that Trump is going to be our savior? Or do you believe, like me, that he is the swamp? I'm curious.
That is the what?
Trump is the swamp. Do
you think?
I think, yeah, of course.
Why?
Anybody be in power that either A, couldn't be manipulated, B, is totally in league with them, or C, both of the above. That's what I think.
Will you please sort Mike out or get out between those legs, because you're like way in the back of the box.
Oh, me?
You.
I was just saying, does anybody here actually believe that Trump is going to be your savior, or do you believe, like me, that he's part of the deep state and he's all part, it's...
I believe he's looking after America, and he's gonna help anyone that he can, and he's going to want to be elected in 2020. But then you've also got to look at the other side of it, where he's done what no one else has done.
I butted.
Is Michael Finley? Michael, can you hear us?
Is Trump just throwing
Michael, he might be able to hear us, but he can't I think, Michael, you need to change your audio setting again in Discord, the way we looked at earlier. Sorry, Carl Stephen, please.
Hello. I was going to say about Trump. The guy rebuilt New York banking system. Nobody else got the money what he got from the banking system. For some reason, made a lot of money and didn't become a part of that banking system, and sat back and became president. A lot of faith in that, because
why would they make
the system doesn't like him anymore, and he's actually opening up the coal mines. He's opening up the steelworks. He's going to make his country great again. You can't protect your country if you haven't got your coal mines open and you haven't got your steel industry anymore, because you can't make the arms to protect your country. It's so simple.
Yeah.
I think
the point where there's a special kind of stupid.
I think he's just throwing you the odd bone. I think he's throwing you the odd bone. He's lulling you into a false sense of security. He's trying to give you the impression that he's going to fix everything, be this great savior. But at the end of the day, who would allow him to be president? Like the people,
the military. Okay, 2 seconds, Carl. Let me step in here, Carl. Carl, 2 seconds, mate.
I really do want to finish this, Jeff.
Yeah.
In that case, why he's been the only in the whole world to sort out North Korea and South Korea to actually start talking again. I agree, they have spoken before, and it's fallen on deaf ears. But has he not done something great here to sort to North and South Korea and say, let's try and sort this? That's after the watershed, because it is. But why has our Prime Minister not done that?
All right, then. Here's a question. Here's a couple of questions for you, then, Carl. Right? Yeah. When he was, parading around on the stage saying, "Oh, I'm gonna get my own personal attorney on to Hillary, and I'm gonna get her indicted and sent to prison and all this," right? Did it happen? Is she in prison yet? No.
Jeff, 2 seconds.
I haven't finished yet. Hang on, I haven't finished yet. Right. Also, are they still bombing the crap out of Syria? Yes. Look at the facts. Look at things how they are.
You're not looking at the facts.
No, nothing's bloody changed.
No, Jeff. Okay, I'll answer that. I'll answer that very easily. I'll answer them very easy. One, you cannot just arrest one person on one thing, right? And not have everything. Everything's got to be in the right place. This isn't just about arresting one person or two people. This is about the whole lot. Okay, but
he said
he hasn't lied. He hasn't lied.
Yes, he did. He said specifically.
He didn't tell you when he was going to do it. No. He said he was going to get his own. Wait,
Okay, whoa. Glenn, carry on. Finish your point. Go on.
Okay, so
go on.
He never said when he was going to get her arrested and when he was going to do all of this. He just promised that he will. And it's in motion, okay? Barack Hussein Obama has already had himself taken into custody in December and is out.
We don't really know the truth of that, mate.
Come on, guys, get real. I mean, look. Yeah, Obama.
You haven't looked at the facts.
Obama was the same. He made election promises. He said he was going to shut down Guantanamo Bay.
And he put in the EO to do that. But guess
apparently Trump has expanded Guantanamo by all accounts, by what I've heard. So, if that's the case, it's just more of the same. They're trying to give you the illusion that he's going to come down. You're just as likely to get the bloody aliens come down here and the Pleiadians or whatever come down here.
Explain this. Explain why every single deep state operative is against Trump, right?
Oh, they say the same about. They've done the same with Corbyn, haven't they? Everybody's against Corbyn, so Corbyn's going to be this great saviour. Well, hello.
Corbyn's not a player. Corbyn's not the type of player like
communist.
No, Corbyn's not the Hillary type of player. Okay, Hillary is about 1,000 leagues above who Corbyn is. People don't even want to meet Corbyn because he's no one. He's a nothing. He's just a face for a shit pie, right?
Mate, this
when you're talking of people like Comey, Mueller, Strzok, Page, you're talking all of these people who are very well connected, Jeffrey Epstein, all of these people very well connected to Hillary and the likes, all being indicted, all being investigated, right? Because you don't just want a felony on these people, right? You want capital punishment, in all honesty. That's what I want against these people for what they do.
Scott, a lot
but you've got to find the
let
evidence.
Jeff,
You've got to find where all the bodies are buried.
Let Jeff get his chest off it. Let Jeff has his blast, because he's got a good point here.
I just think we're all being deluded. They're throwing us the odd bone, right, and making it seem like he's this great guy. He's going to make America. You are not going to make America great again. End of. Right, and I'll tell you why. Because their financial system is bust. They are bankrupt, the same as Britain, the same as virtually every country in the world. Why are we all bankrupt? Why isn't it, more or less 50% of the country is doing really well financially and about 50% of the country is doing crap? Because if you've got X amount of money in a monetary supply, right, and you've got a free market economy, then you would think around about half of them would be doing really well and about half of them would be doing pretty poorly. Yeah, no, that's not the case. About 97% of all the countries in the bloody world are in debt up to their bloody eyeballs. Why? Because the central banks run the entire system. Trump is not the person who's going to make America great again.
It's not just Trump, okay? So what you've got to think about is this isn't just Trump on his sole own persons, right? This is the American military, not Trump. This is the American military, okay? So just look at Trump as someone who's can't be brought, right, can be a front face for the military, because the military can't come out and go, we're taking over the country, okay? It can't be done. It's the military, not Trump, but the military that are taking out the deep state. Even the Rothschilds. The Rothschilds are going to go. The Soros is going to go. They have to. Okay.
I'm afraid you're deluded. They are not going anywhere. They're in control of this bloody planet, and they've been in control of.
They're losing control.
No, they're not.
They are.
I'm afraid not. I'm afraid you've got
do you know about the Rothschilds and what they do and how they work? Yeah. So if you know, I know, and 10 other people know, and then another 10 other people know, and then it turns into 1 million people know, and then a couple of million. Do you think these people are going to be able to walk down the streets when everyone knows exactly what they are doing, even if they get arrested or not? If we get the information out to people and people do their own research, they'll know who these people are, what they're doing, and how they're doing it. So it isn't just about one person doing it. How about you get off your bum and start doing something to put these people behind bars? Stop being a keyboard warrior. Do something. I'm doing it.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm doing. I'm telling people that the only way you're going to change it is to literally bloody kill these people.
This is what Trump and the military are doing. Look at Q. Look what Q's done.
Guys, I'm going to bust in. You both, Jeff, I respect what you're saying, Glenn, and you too. You're both shouting from the same thing. The thing is, Jeff's a lot older than me, and I'm 48. And Glenn, you're a bit younger than me. We're actually coming from. He's been fighting for a lot longer than you were born in. Never mind being a thought in your mum's heart.
Hey, yeah? It doesn't matter how old you are, Carl. Right? Because I've been fighting from the day that I've been born. All right.
I'm only 50.
Okay, all right. Hold on. Sammy, what did you want to say?
Age don't mean nothing.
Hold on. Whoa.
When it comes to knowledge.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Having an age about yourself does mean something. It's the cage you're born into.
Hold on. Look, there's too much bloody testosterone going around now. Sam, what would you like to say, please? Chrissy? Hello, mate.
The fellow that shines the Rothschild's shoes is cleverer than Trump. They have got it completely covered. There's no way they are going to lose power in our lifetimes.
Exactly, Chris.
Trump is a puppet. We all knew it. He's doing it. He's an egotist. He's only there because he thinks that it's power. He's not got any real power. He's being manipulated. He's being put in now.
I don't look at Trump as an idol, though. I look at the information that I'm given and that I can use.
He's just a figurehead, isn't he, Chrissy? You're absolutely right, mate. I agree 100% with Chris.
Yeah. If you look at the guy's morals, take it back to the fundamentals, guys. Look at the guy's morals. You know what I mean? All that sort of like you grab him in the and all that sort of stuff. You know, I mean, you couldn't trust Trump to be in a room alone with your wife.
You've taken that out of context. So as on this stands,
I thought we was moving
this
on.
conversation.
Hold on,
I'm
I'm crying out loud. Well, it's okay. It's the boozy edition, right? We'll take a few comments. I was trying to sort them out on the screen, but that didn't work. Anyway. So no, Thomas White, Carrie, just like me doing the hoovering up in a short skirt and an apron. That's lovely, speak. Thomas. That's a really lovely. Yeah, go on, Sam.
No. I was just saying.
Good. Truth Seeker says Trump's already making moves, draining the swamp. Stav Woodcutter, Trump's going to take out Iran. Guys, what do you think about this caravan? This is it's come up from what, Paraguay or something or other, Venezuela, and it's going up. They're basically a bunch of folks that want to migrate to the States, want to try and improve their lot. And I just wonder who's bankrolling this. Yeah, is this another Soros project? But that caravan is about to hit the U.S.-Mexican border,
and the American military
Lopi.
has already deployed lots of military down there. My cousin is to go down there.
Mm-hmm. Read the books, read the paperwork, and we'll find out their plan. It was to go hand in hand with the crisis in Europe, the migrant crisis of South America.
What's going on with you, David? You sound as though you're, I don't know, eating a hedge.
Like I was saying, read the paperwork, read the documentation. The planned migration in Europe and the planned migration of South America were written long ago.
Can I ask a question? So, what's the migration going to America then on this love bus? Is it Christianity point of view or is
MS-13? MS-13. MS-13.
In part.
I can explain.
So the gang culture in
gang culture.
So
it's Hispanic. Is it from Hispanic descent?
South America, isn't it? Yeah.
But you seem to see a lot of sub-Saharan Africans in those areas as well.
You see, England and America have basically a lot of the same problems. The only difference is England has a Muslim problem and American has Latino or Hispanic problem. A lot of them are, obviously, a lot of the Latinos are illegal in America. A lot of them. They come up as migrant workers.
Lopi, can you hold that thought? Hold that thought just for a minute. Just gonna have a bit of a break. The top of the hour. Gonna have a break. Yeah, it's a new thing going on in this show now. It's called the host can go and take a pee. Oh balls! Oh come on, sort it out. There you go.
Really shit.
Living in the same routine, like the seasons I'm on repeat. It's a long way down. Trying not to follow suit. Don't like the color, I'll change the shade of it. I'm not afraid of it. I know holding on to this, holding on. I know I'm holding on to this, holding on. Don't let me repeat it. Don't let me repeat it. Fast forward a year or two, friends have changed, but so can you. So can you. For too long about the mistakes, while I resent, I learned to hate. Forgot your name. Fear the struggle to follow on. Need to focus to prove you're wrong. I'm not wrong. I know I'm holding on to this, holding on.
Oh, you moaning old bastard. I'll tell you what. Jesus, how depressing was that? I'm sorry. What a lot of old cock. Right. We got a few comments. Trump's uncle got Tesla's papers. Stav Woodcutter. No, Jeff. QAnon says he is the Messiah. We need factual evidence, guys, says Stav Woodcutter. Yeah, we do on all sorts of things. Wisdom can only come from age, Glenn, says Stav. Well, Stav's an old bastard. I heard that. Yeah. And have you got enough bandwidth, says William Davis. Probably not. Yeah. Right. Okay. Tommy, okay. They're not really saying much in the comments. They're not saying much in the comments tonight. They're quite quiet in the comments. They're not very opinionated tonight. Must be late. Hey, Lopi?
I was saying before we had intermission, which I must say was lovely tinkle music.
You like that?
England has the same problem America has, except its problem is Muslims, not Mexicans or Latinos. They come up to America as migrant workers, like crop showers, people who work the fields and stuff. And then they, like cockroaches, they stay here. They create problems as far as DACA and everything. And that's the main problem. Now they're talking about, we're going to get rid of the ones that have not been legal. They don't, they're not trying to be legal, whatever. I fully agree with that. But they're complaining that they're splitting families up. Well, you had X amount of years you've been here, and you didn't try to become a citizen, so care about the family you created here illegally. We shouldn't.
Can we just get to the crux of the issue on this one? What I think it's because we live in socialist and socialism, sort of left-wing societies nowadays. The immigrants are quite expensive. They seem to take more from the system than they give, or they've ever given. And it's costing us all more money because we have to pay more tax money to support them. And they're illegally here. They've broken into our country. And it goes for illegal immigration all over the world, truly, doesn't it? Any illegal immigrant in Europe, it's exactly the same. It's the same as if there is any illegal immigrants in China, be exactly the same.
The problem is a greed problem, not a religion or nationality problem. It's totally down to people wanting to make a better life for themselves, and who can blame someone for wanting better for themselves and their families?
By the way, such is not the case, because 70 to 80%, according to the United Nations and European Union, believe and know that the people who are being trafficked over here into Europe by George Soros are economic migrants, not refugees from a war-torn zone. You see, they don't stop at the very first nation that they land upon. They move into Central and Northern Europe in order to get welfare gibs.
Here we go.
And also,
they also have 1,400 years of inbreeding among them. I'm sorry, but it's true.
Oh, wow. You know what? I just want to say, it's amazing. Now, an hour into the show, I've got both of my co-hosts have turned up. Thank you very much indeed, Alexander Sangmoore, for making an appearance, sir. And to you, Sam Jayne Pearson, God bless you. Yeah, no, very good to have your input. Yeah, basically it's a bit of a mess, because these people, we're bombing them into oblivion in various spots, and also offering a horrendous trade deal. And guess what? This is the result. So it's a double-edged sword, is it not?
You have to look at Syria. The latest bombing in Syria, there was no one injured, no recorded fatalities or injuries, right? And it was only the chemical labs and the ammo and arms holding of the deep state, holding it for ISIS, Hezbollah, whoever they are. They needed to free Syria from any talks of any more chemicals. And now we're surrounded from all sides. So it was coordinated attacks from Russia and US to hit where they hit, and the missiles that were blown out of the air were French and UK by the Russians, because they had intelligence of where they were going to hit. It was all coordinated. You need to look at the hardcore evidence at what's actually going on.
This information is available in certain archives.
Yeah. What was that, Alexander? God, he speaks fast, doesn't he? What did you say?
He said all of that information, all of that spill that I just explained about the latest bombings in Syria, is all in an archive. It's all factual. I'm not picking this out of thin air. I'm not just making this up. This is exactly what happened.
By the way, gentlemen, if you actually want to see these archives, go to 8chan Politically Incorrect and find them.
I'll tell you what, folks, what I reckon, and what I've noticed is all this Muslim immigrancy stuff that's going on, like somebody said, it's about 97% economic migrants and a few percent true refugees. There's only about 3% true refugees, and it's all fighting age males. And I'll tell you one thing, this is happening everywhere in the Western world now. It's not just Europe, it's not just the UK, it's in Australia, it's happening in America. Gradually, it's going to be everywhere in the Western world, and it's all about turning Christians against Muslims and all that. And I'll tell you who's behind it. Is the Jews that are in power. They're the people that show, and they're behind it, and they just want. I mean, this is all depopulation. It's all plain and simple, isn't it? We get us fighting our battles for them. We're doing it on their behalf, because we're going to end up literally on the streets fighting for our lives against political ideology, which you know as Islam, which is basically what's going to happen.
I agree. I agree with that.
Please, you're very quiet. Hardly people can hear you.
Who is Lopey? Jeff is.
He's not talking
from
Jeff.
That makes a change.
From the back room.
Well, I shouldn't be, because I got my mic boost on, and I can stick more mic boost on if you like.
By the way, you can turn people up.
Sounds good to me.
Now, hold on a sec. Hold on. Alexander, go on.
No,
it's very easy. It's very easy to turn up the volume in terms of the microphone, by the way. You just right-click on your name tag and increase the volume.
Right. Okay. Can you see how cool the screen is now with all the names of the folks in Discord having a chat? Do they flash up when people speak? They should flash. Do they do that?
You get an echo. If you get an echo off you, Ollie, or you put your headset when you go for a wee, then you get an echo through your mic because it's too close to the mic and headphones, and we can hear ourselves through your head speakers.
Oh, I muted my microphone when I went for a
When
pee.
you look at it, you can actually see if anyone's got a problem. Dave had a problem before. If he speaks again, you can see him ricocheting, and whatever reason why, we don't know, but he can. So, Dave, you still there, mate?
Yeah, I'm still here. Yeah, is it echoing?
You're crystal clear now. You're crystal clear now.
Is anybody watching on Facebook? According to my Facebook, 3 people are watching. According to my Facebook.
Yeah, don't worry about this. The numbers are skewed completely because the Ultimate Tech Alliance wants to silence people.
I've got more people in the green room than watching the show on Facebook, according to that bloody Zuckerzits bloke.
I couldn't find you on Facebook earlier.
Hey, hold on a sec. Oh, blimey. Chris, Struth, here we go.
Wow.
Any better?
Hold on. Shut up. Chrissy Morris, what were you saying?
I couldn't actually find you on Facebook earlier, mate. I know I'm a technophobe, but
right.
I'm quite good on Facebook. And Daily Brexit weren't coming up. Daily Chaos weren't coming up. Couldn't find you at all, mate. So I think
Ollie's changed the name of the show, and I think it's not publishing because I used to get notifications. And I haven't tonight, so I've gone on Facebook and I've looked while the show's running. I'm not getting notifications.
Ollie, I'm going to drop a photo into Discord for you.
Yes.
From Facebook. It was a message sent to me.
Oh, really? Okay. Thank you. Right. What about?
About the name change.
The name change?
Yeah.
Oh.
Do you want me to?
Yeah.
I'll DM you.
Yeah, no, send me a message.
Direct
cool.
message.
Yeah, top. Yeah. I don't know. I did twice. Yeah, twice or maybe 3 times. Sam, in the last week, the page has been unpublished for no reason at all. I didn't do it. Nobody did it. I don't know why. Unpublished. The Daily Brexit page. I am trying to change the name at the moment. Anyway, that's another thing. Anyway, yeah, I suppose we'll work that out. But yeah, it's really weird. I don't know what the deal is with Facebook. By the way, folks, this is a kind of a Billy Bonus type sort of an addition. If you think I'm slurring, you would be right. Helen Lasky-Smith says, Emma, I've got that clashing on mine. People are all talking to themselves. Nothing useful at all from any of you on YouTube. William Davis on Facebook. Muzzes, and they're better on YouTube, I have to say. They have a better class of debate on YouTube than on Facebook. I've noticed this. Muzzes don't recognize usury and don't even pay any arcing taxes or alcohol to our country, says William Davis. Paul Rees-Ham, good evening, Ollie. Nice to see you back. Thank you, Paul. John Middleton, can you ask him what frequency band he is speaking that I lost him in my ears, couldn't pick it up? As I love, John Middleton might be referring to Alexander Sangmoore.
It all starts from the birth certificate, all this, you see.
Here we go. James Moore, James Gore taking us. Yes. What is it? What is the problem?
Well, basically, when, the problem with Muslims coming in, like, they have like 12 kids because they've got 4 wives, and, your birth certificate comes a bond, and like that birth certificate's worth like 6 million quid per head. And that gets sent to the Vatican, you see. and the funny thing is, the Muslims don't even know it because everything runs under ecclesiastically as well. It's under trust law and all that caper.
Mm. We've also got Triangle in the room. Triangle, can you hear us, or have you gone off?
No, he's muted both hearing and
I don't
speaking.
blame him. I don't blame
He's
him
probably
after
playing
that.
Fortnite.
I should
That's
never have
what
asked
he's
James
probably
Gore that
doing.
last question. Sorry, James?
Triangle's probably playing Fortnite, I think.
Hi.
He probably is.
Triangle. Hello, mate.
He probably is. Yes. Okay. Right. And
Very
now,
well, thank you. How are you, Triangle?
I'm back
It's been
on.
good.
Good.
Triangle, are you a big Fortnite player by any chance?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can tell.
Blimey.
It's crap on console, like. Just saying.
Can we listen to Sam for a bit? Because she's been on all night. I've not heard anything about her. I
Go
know
on,
what
then.
she's doing, sporting, and it's one of Olly's hosts, so I'd love to hear about and listen to Olly to talk her up.
Quite right. Sammy? Sam?
Hey.
Hey. Yes. Right. Okay. I mean, basically, the bottom line with Sam, the bottom line is that she is a sergeant major, and at the moment she's shy, but you give it 3 shows, and that's it. It's all over, yeah. And so watch yourselves. Okay.
Right. Well,
go on, Sam.
I've been contacted by a few people about a few of the fringe parties that have been set up recently, which obviously are going to do nothing but harm Brexit.
What do you mean? Why? Because they split the vote? What do you mean?
Yeah, obviously. Yes.
Yeah. Maybe it needs to be split, one could argue, but carry on. Well, I'm only saying, I don't know. I mean, Batten's saying the right things, but carry on.
But yeah, so I've been contacted and I have been given a statement, and I'd like to read that statement.
Blimey. Okay, this is official. I need a drum roll. Haven't got one. Go on.
I'm just going to take
right.
a seat.
I applied to join the newly formed Democrat and Veterans Party. Within the first hour of the launch of the DVP website on the 9th of February 2018, I've done so because I believe in direct democracy. As an advocate by former UKIP leadership candidate and current DVP leader John Rhys-Evans, I believe that since he is leader of the party and that the party has signed up to his vision of direct democracy, that it would live up to this along with its other values, such as freedom of speech and freedom of conscience, as expressed in its own constitution, to become a real force and reckoned with in British politics. It is, however, with deep regret and pains me in British politics.
Go on, Sam. Sam? Cut off.
Wait there. To write this statement, but the Democrat and Veteran Party has failed to live up to its own values. Because of the actions of a number of people that occupy top roles within the party who have and continue to trample on the DVP constitution, I have watched in disbelief as a party leader pleading in a video on the DVP Facebook page. See the video for non-party members to stand as DVP candidates in the local elections. This is a clear violation of the Constitution.
Can you please put that in comments when you get the time on this show so people can see
sure.
that, please? It's Carl Stephen talking again. Okay, thank you.
I was most concerned with this, and when I raised this in form with the party leader, that founding member Andrew Price had proposed a change to allow non-party members to stand in the local elections at the board meeting on the 2nd of February, and that motion has passed unanimously, and that he, John Rhys-Evans, had forgot to amend the existing constitution and now had done so on the 9th of May. I contacted Andrew and he denied proposing such a motion, as did other members who were at the meeting. The minutes of that meeting were requested and dismissed by a number of founding members that had attended the meeting, since that minutes are questionable, especially in regards to the motion that Andrew Price has alleged proposed. The leadership team was contacted to have rectified, but no response was received on this matter. For now, it is clear that the DVP constitution was violated by either allowing non-party members to stand as DVP candidates or illegally changing the constitution to allow non-party members to stand. Like I said before, one of the values of the party of commitment is towards free speech, but this too has been trampled on by a member of the leadership team, namely Trevor Colt, who holds the position of deputy leader. He is now actively censoring party members on the DVP members' Facebook page. I saw the other member object to this and quit the party after Trevor brushed him aside and claimed it was good that he had left it, since it saved him the trouble of removing him from the party. I objected to this censorship and also found myself blocked from DVP members' Facebook page and from contacting DVP. Sorry, I've lost my place. As well as the own personal Facebook account. Since this spat, there was an exchange on Twitter between Trevor and myself, and I was informed, or rather threatened, by the deputy leader that I'd been kicked out of the party and that he had personally seen to this.
That's
I informed him that I was still a member of the party, and it made him clear that his objective to remove me, but appears to have conceded that he has not removed me from the party. This is because there are clear rules of how to remove a member set out in the Constitution. It means he cannot do this. However, sorry, I've lost my place. Do so on a whim, but nevertheless still attempts to bully members into thinking he has the power to do this. Again, the leadership team, particularly the party leader, John Rhys-Evans, was contacted about this on my behalf, and again, no response. This is not what I have many signed up for when we joined in the Democrat and Veterans Party 3 months ago.
Can I ask you a question? Did you go? What party were you a part of before you? I've looked at the DV party as it's evolved, but I'm not a part of it. Where were your allegiance before? You're obviously an activist.
I'm not a part of it at all.
No free speech.
I've never been a member of this at all.
So where did this letter come from?
It came from a member.
If they're trying to subvert free speech, then they can stick their party up there, as far as I'm concerned.
So could it not be conceivable that people make a few mistakes, and also that probably they're chasing their tails in pursuit of the May elections for a start?
I can personally say that I said something today on a page and I was blocked. And it's a perfectly reasonable question.
And you were blocked?
I was blocked.
So maybe there is, maybe for whatever reason, and there are always two sides to these things, sure, but maybe there is, they could do with a bit more diplomacy or putting a bit more time into actually answering some questions, but that isn't actually in itself such a, I mean, it's negligent, but it's not, terrible.
What was the question you asked, please?
Sam? Sam?
Yeah, Sammy, what was the question?
Sorry?
What the question was that you asked that you were blocked on?
Oh, 1 second, I'll have to re-go over my...
Just in a nutshell, mate.
Oh, do you know what? I honestly couldn't remember what I did yesterday. 1 second.
No worries.
Take me 2 seconds. I asked which board members...
Look, the bottom line, This is a brand new political party. They're going to be going through the birth throes and teething or whatever. They haven't even got as far as teething yet. They'll probably do a bit of that in the May elections.
Wait, can I say one thing about
is there really any surprise? Come on, Sam. Sam, is there really any great surprise here? There's going to be people that are going to be put out. People are different of opinion. It'd be, politics is a passionate kind of a thing. No?
No.
So what?
Can I say something what I get mixed up on?
Okay.
I know I understand about the donkey on the DV party. All right.
Come on.
But why put the British flag upside down? The wrong way around.
Don't ask me. It's nothing. Nothing to do with the party.
If the party,
Did they do that?
itself wants to
Did
get
they do that?
veterans behind them, then that's so disgraceful.
They did that.
What, upside down?
The donkey?
Just out of
No, the flag.
If you look at the Union flag, sorry, it's upside down. It's the wrong way around.
Right. Well, I go with the English flag.
If you're wanting veterans to join your party, you do not put the flag upside down or the wrong way around.
Yeah.
Isn't it
No, like I say, I mean, like there's
I don't know.
Pardon my ignorance. Who put the British flag upside down?
The DVP, Alexander. The Democrat and Veterans Party. Apparently.
The DVP?
In their logo, apparently.
It's not upside down.
I'll go and find it and post it in the...
How can you tell that it's upside down? I mean, when it's a,
on the top left-hand side, it's
yes, I know, but yes, I know that. But when it's a... Oh, never mind. Okay.
Interruption.
As long as they didn't
Can I just come in?
As long as they didn't get the donkey upside down.
The flag's not even upside down. I don't understand where you're getting that from.
Who is that? Who is
I can't
that?
see it.
It's
if it's upside down. If it's upside down, it basically means anti-establishment. Basically, going against what everybody believes the British Constitution, the British government. So it's going against what's going on at the minute.
Nigel sounds a bit like Derek Nimmo.
Hello, Ollie.
He does. He sounds a bit. He's got a bit. Derek, Nigel, Lopi. Don't you think Nigel sounds a little bit like Derek Nimmo?
Do I? Ollie.
He's got a touch of that. Sorry,
Ollie.
Lopi. What? Yeah.
Ollie.
Go on. Yes.
Beam me up, Ollie.
Ooh.
What I was going to say was a little bit of history about the Democratic donkey. Yeah.
Yes.
I did know that the English DV party was because a rival, a Republican rival of Andrew Jackson, said that Andrew Jackson sounded like a jackass. Because the little mascot for the
for the Democrats.
Party.
So why have they got an elephant on the GOP?
What I was going to say was if the DVP is not have a donkey as their mascot, shouldn't they have Charlie Chuck as their president? Donkey.
By the way, gentlemen, the Democrats in...
Oh, blimey. Right.
May I...
Alexander, please.
The Democrats in America, by the way, are being both A, deplatformed, and B, losing all of their funding. They are scrambling for money, and multiple news organizations on the left that are echo owned by the Democrats are closing a multitude of offices in tower blocks because howdy ho, the 21st century has arrived, motherfuckers. Essentially, suffice it to say, all information is online now, and newspapers don't sell, and they don't own the narrative. Okay, they are losing their control and grip and grasp over the narrative in America, and Democrats are failing quite big time. So the donkey, if they're associating themselves with a dying organization, then they need to rebrand themselves if they want to do well, or alternatively die in the swamp.
Well, I think what we need is a benign dictator. Because
he says this every week. He might be right. He might be right.
Lopi didn't finish explaining about the meaning of the donkey.
What's that? Yeah, that's right, Glenn. Sorry. Yes, Lopi didn't quite finish the meaning of the donkey. The
whole thing was because a Republican was saying that Andrew Jackson, in all his views and everything, was acting like a jackass.
Yes.
And
that's right.
There you go. You've got a donkey.
Yes, exactly.
By the way, gentlemen, you should take into consideration the fact that there is no such thing as a two-party divide or two-party system. There is only the people who are owned and the people who are not owned.
A duopoly. We have a duopolistic system.
You can discern who is owned and not owned by following the money. What investigators do online, they follow the money, and you can know who is bought and who is not bought. Yay!
So, Alexander,
yes, Alex.
Your opinion,
go and get yourself informed, everyone.
In your opinion,
Ollie, can I come in, please, Ollie?
Yes, please. No,
2 seconds.
One sec, Nigel. 1 sec. Carry on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Trump, Alexander, in your opinion, is Trump owned, or is
Trump is not owned by anyone. He may have affiliations with right-wing leaning Jews, but that's perfectly fine. Let's see. Trump is not owned because A, he has all the right enemies. B, the media is an apparatus of the deep state, and they are very, very much owned and are mouths without minds belonging to the deep state Old World Hydra. By Old World Hydra, I mean institutions of world power, authority, dominion, and influence, including but not limited to Rothschild, Rockefeller, DuPont, Bush, Morgan, Clintons, Podesta, Zuckerberg, etc. They are in cahoots with the alt-left tech alliance. No, Trump is not bought. He doesn't have a history of diddling women. He doesn't have a history of Clinton's cohorting with the Jeffrey Epsteins of the world that were diddling children on
taking money from the Saudis.
He doesn't have any of that in any of those kinds of skeletons in his closet, which is why they are so desperate to smear him with anything, because the Russia narrative has failed them. They are moving on to him being a sexual deviant by saying that he prefers underage girls and shit on the chans. This is obviously an operation by Share Blue, Media Matters, and Correct the Record. We know their plans because we have infiltrators in their systems. Now, Trump is not bought. He is the sun god emperor and the very first non-owned president since John F. Kennedy, who was assassinated because he wanted to work against the deep state. He wanted to purge the CIA into 1,000 pieces and blow them to the wind. So suffice it to say, Trump is not owned. He is the sun god emperor. He plays 366-dimensional chess. He plays the media like a fiddle, virtuoso, fiddle playing and so forth. And he is soon going to liberate America from the clutches of the deep state by auditing the Federal Reserve Bank of America in 2024 by gold.
You don't have to be owned.
Well, no, hold on.
You don't have to be owned.
Michael,
to be
Michael,
controlled.
yes, Michael. Sorry, go on.
Ollie, thank you, Ollie.
He's owned by his own ego.
Oh, blimey.
You don't have to be owned in order to be controlled, and he's clearly being controlled. He's been helping the CIA, for example. He has been helping the CIA to continue to conceal, speaking of JFK, the JFK documents.
Yeah.
That's just been released yesterday.
Whoa, hold on. Oh, but quite, look, hold on. But every
pages will be done in 6 months.
Look, Glenn, please. And Alexander, please, will you let me introduce Michael Finley, please, who's very kindly joined us from stateside and been on the show a few times before. Some of you will recognize Michael, a human rights lawyer, health foods guru, pretty much, and an all-round geezer, and a former independent candidate for POTUS. And so he's got a bit of understanding of in fact, his mandate, his manifesto running for POTUS was superb. It really read very, very well for those with a sort of a libertarian kind of a bent. And so, Michael, what are your thoughts about Trump? You do not share the same optimism that a lot of folks around this live show do.
No, I don't.
Trump has always been a Washington insider. This is someone who's contributed millions to Hillary's prior presidential campaigns and senatorial campaigns. He admitted as such. This is an oligarch who was formerly pulling the purse strings, and now he's gotten himself into office. Now,
he actually said that was a qualification when he was on the soapbox, trying to get elected, trying to get into the going through the primaries. He said that was a qualification because he knew what parts of the system needed to be changed.
Yeah, just out of curiosity, did he
hold
rig
on?
the election?
Whoa, Alexander. Blimey. Okay, go on.
Do I think that Trump rigged the election?
Yes. Do you believe that Trump rigged the 2016 election? Yes or no?
Actually, no, I don't.
Okay, good stuff. So, who owns Trump specifically? I want names.
I didn't say. I didn't say he was owned. I didn't say he was owned.
Who
I said
Trump?
you don't have to be owned to be controlled.
Yeah,
he's been doing what the CIA wants in so many instances. He's been putting people the CIA wants into his cabinet.
So what do you think? He's just vainglorious? Do you think that he's basically just vainglorious? Is that his deal?
No, I think that...
No. I'm asking Michael. Sorry, Alexander.
Okay. There's a lot of questions coming at me. I'll try to get them.
Yeah. You're the American in the room. Bless you.
Right. Okay. As far as whether I think he's vainglorious, I do think he likes to hear himself speak. I do think he's a bit of an egotistical bastard. But, if that were the only thing wrong with him, I wouldn't have so much of a problem. But
who controls him? Name names.
Okay.
Name names. Who controls Trump now?
If you stop talking, I give an answer because I don't want to talk over you. So,
go for it.
Okay. The CIA, in my opinion, is
names. Who in the CIA?
No, hold on. Let him answer, Alexander. For God's sake.
And no, the MI6 do not control him.
I don't see into the CIA. I don't have the ability to listen to the CIA the way they have to listen to me and to you. But
what are your sources?
I am watching. Watching his behavior.
Hold on.
Please,
yes.
Please,
I'm watching his behavior.
I can't hear what you're saying. Okay. So please, Alexander, full respect to you. And I know you're very intelligent, but please let this guy speak. He's from America. We don't normally get a guy like on here. Give him the respect. Let him say what he's going to say. Yeah?
Thank you. I've been watching what he's doing, okay? A few years ago, he opposed going into Syria, which has always been a CIA operation. The CIA, I call them the CIA, has been behind the whole Arab Spring uprisings in Libya, in Egypt, and in Syria. And that's fairly well documented. You can look at stuff like, say, Seymour Hersh's writings, just one of many that's clearly documented that, okay? And so first he was opposed to doing these things in Syria. Now he's doing all of the things the CIA wants him to do in Syria. Now, could he be doing worse in Syria? I suppose he could be doing worse, okay?
Yeah.
But he just proposed a CIA director to be on his cabinet to help run international affairs. So,
but is it not a possibility? Is it not
Pompeo's a white hat?
Is it not a possibility, Michael, that he's politicking, that in order to do what he wants to do, which I hope is to drain the swamp, and he has shown some good promise in that regard, one way or another, I think.
By the way,
but on the other, whoa, Alexander, let me finish my bloody question. If he's going to do that, maybe he has to, kind of do a bit of dancing here. Is that not what we're seeing? Possibly. Maybe I'm being hopeful.
You don't. If you're going to drain the swamp, then show me that you're draining the swamp. Okay. First of all, some of these promises that he said out of his own mouth during his victory tour celebrating, he admitted that this was a bunch of bullshit he just said because people liked how it sounded. Okay, so it was nonsense to get himself elected.
I've never heard
What
that.
is wrong with playing the game in order to win its politics?
If he was going to drain the swamp, you don't appoint ExxonMobil to be the Secretary of State. Okay, and you don't replace ExxonMobil with the CIA. You don't move somebody who's documented as having been involved in torturing people into the head of the CIA. Okay, now these are, in my opinion, some of the worst CIA elements that he's buddying up with. He just put John Bolton in. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that doesn't.
He's PNAC. This is Project for a New American Century. The same bunch of neo-Nazi assholes that brought us 9/11. That wrote a paper.
No, that was Zionists. No. Neo-Nazis. Hold on. I wish to contest this point.
No. He was on the Project for the New American Century.
Right. Okay, but who did 9/11?
1 year before. Let me talk.
Hold on, Alexander. Let him finish.
1 year before 9/11. Project for a New American Century said,
I get that.
We need a new Pearl
Hold
Harbor.
on, Alexander. Okay. You may get it, but a lot of us don't. So please let him finish
Can I
for
say
our
something?
sake.
He's been
Thank you.
for the last 5 minutes.
Yes, and you can speak in a second. You know, oh God, blimey!
Okay, because a lot of claims are being made which are blatantly false, and others that lack any evidence. And he is either ignorant, deluded, or bought.
What is
there was a genuine documentation stating that there needs a new Pearl Harbor, and that was a year before 9/11.
And John Bolton was one of the people that wrote that report.
Did 9/11. Rockefeller, Zionists, and Muslims that were paid and their families were paid did 9/11. Read the 28 redacted documents of the official 9/11 report. Furthermore, the statement that you made that neo-Nazis did 9/11, whatever drugs you're taking, do please share them, my good man.
Alexander, it doesn't matter.
Hold on, Nigel.
No, it very much does matter.
It doesn't matter who did it, who arranged it.
No, it does matter.
Why? No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't matter why it was arranged. It matters who arranged it. What was it done for?
Nigel, could you please stop machinating on your microphone? Jesus Christ, my ears are full of your teeth.
By the way, gentlemen,
there is evidence of all kinds of different involvement in 9/11.
Many claims, no evidence. Look, it's very simple. Just go to Hall of Cracked Mirrors and post your archives. We will have thousands of eyes and ears upon them. It's that simple. If what you are saying is true, then you have the evidence to back it up. We want the archives. We want the evidence. We want the claims backed up. No claims without proof made. Opinions are trash-fated garbage. Only informed perspectives matter here. So claims that you make back.
By the way, I agree with you that there's evidence of Zionists involved with 9/11. I agree with you that there's evidence of that, but that's not the only thing that there's evidence of.
Just out of curiosity.
Who's aware of the Jesuits? That's what I want to know.
Oh,
James.
Hold on. Let's
nothing to do with this, James.
When you have whistleblowers from the CIA, the NSA, the FBI, and so many other federal agencies who repeatedly stated that they either gave information to the Bush administration or that they were told directions by the Bush administration in advance of 9/11, it's impossible to separate the Bush administration from what happened.
We all know this.
Yeah, Bush was definitely connected to it.
Yes, and we all know that.
We all know that.
Look at Bush's cabinet.
It's not all of them. What you've got to remember, Michael, what you've got to remember is there's black hats and white hats in every single group. So there's black hats, like bad people in Republican.
Are you assuming white hats are good people?
No, not as in the white hats. I'm on about not the white hats.
Hold on, is he assuming what?
We know that. Yeah, good guys versus bad guys.
Okay.
Right.
Those who are owned versus those who are not owned.
Yeah, and there are good people in both groups, both Republican and in Democrats, and same over here in England.
And Trump is not owned. Is the
and
point.
Well, and very few people are 100% pure.
What's happening is everything needs to be moved about, so all the bad people can be brought down.
Perhaps there is only a surface level understanding in Mr. Mick. Pardon my emotional outburst prior, but let me give you a brief rundown. There is a shadow war going on since 2016 of two factions. The first is of blood, ink, and gold, and the second is of anonymity, digit, chaos, and memetic warfare. Okay, now I can explain these point by point to you, but suffice it to say that there is a shadow war going on. There are deep state operatives, people that belong to the likes of the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, DuPonts, Bushes, Morgans, Clintons, Podestas, Zuckerbergs, and so forth. And
these bankers and wealthy have always been controlling things. Yes,
precisely so,
including wars,
including funding both sides of wars. I'm well aware of this, and I'm glad that you're well aware of this. England, for example, has been enslaved to the Rothschild dominion since 1815. After the Battle of Waterloo, they bought all assets, stocks, and the markets of the United Kingdom for, and this is where the phrase comes from, pennies on the pound. Afterwards, they erected 5 great red dragons at the outer city gates of London and inscribed them with the phrase Domine dirige nos, which means God guide us. Now, if you read the Talmud, the Jewish Talmud, it says in certain forbidden texts that you're not allowed to see because you're Goyim, that wherever you find and see the word and read the word God, you may replace it with blood and gold. So the official motto of the City of London since 1815 Rothschild Dominion is blood and gold guide us. There is a reason why the British Empire flourished as much as it did. We have the blood of millions on our hands, but that's perfectly fine because they're better off now than they would have been without us there. India, for example, has a fuck ton of universities, roads, and so forth. But suffice it to say, Mick, I understand your how people can get black-pilled. Black-pilled is in reference to people getting depressed or at the very edge of insanity and catatonic despair when it comes to understanding the world and not being able to fit all the pieces in the puzzle to find the most clear picture of what is happening in the world. If you wish to do that, I sincerely propose that you lurk on 4chan politically incorrect and 8chan politically incorrect. You will find a lot of shit posting there, but you will also find all of the missing puzzle links.
That is the problem. That is the problem. All the shit posting.
QAnon.
That's the problem.
Michael, go to QAnon because it will help guide you.
Okay.
I have a question for you, though.
Well, first of all, Michael, one sec. Lopi, who's also stateside in Utah, or maybe it's Ohio.
Olly, I'm not in Utah, you wally. Bloody hell, I'm going to smack you with the wet fish. I wanted to have
Lopi's in
two
Ohio.
things I want to say.
She's in
First,
Ohio.
Nick, where are you at? Because I'm in Ohio, not Utah.
That's right.
And second thing is, bloody hell, Alexander, do you ever breathe?
My parents had me designed with a gene linked to linguistic aptitude, so
Really?
oh well.
Don't know where we're going. Chaos.
No, I know all about that bit about you, but Jesus, you gotta have a breath. You could talk like freaking forever in 5 seconds.
In a world where we need to disseminate information quickly, radio hosts and so forth who can speak quickly are useful. High linguistic aptitude directly correlated.
Look,
with
hold on a
faster
sec.
information
This
flow.
is the late night edition. We're here for the duration, mate. I've got another bottle of wine I'm ready to uncork there, mate. And
fine quality whiskey, my good man.
Yeah, we got in for the duration.
Might find spliff.
We'll be around for another couple of hours. Yeah.
So yeah, Michael. I like as I was saying, there's a deep state war going on, and all the strings, all the ties have to be cut. All the dominoes have to be put in place.
You need to amputate them like a gangrenous limb. Okay?
Yes. And with Syria,
down hard upon the rope and scream, no matter if there's anesthetic or not, justice be done though the heavens fall. There is literally a deep state war going on, guys. Buckle up, okay? That's all I'm saying.
I have
Okay.
to agree with Mr. Michael
Go on,
Finley there because I think.
Hold on, Rocky. Glenn, let Jeff finish, mate. Go on, Jeff.
Thank you, Ollie. I think I happen to agree with Mick. I think Trump is the swamp. I'll believe Trump when and only when he's assassinated.
That's nice. That's
the
nice.
military won't allow it.
That's
The
like
military
trial
won't allow
by
it.
ordeal.
This is part of the military
Do
view.
you acknowledge? Hold on. I want
If
to
they
ask Mr.
sink
Geoff
and
a
drown,
very
then they're
genuine question.
innocent. Sorry.
I want
I
to
need
know
to
where
ask
they get
Geoff
their
a question.
information from.
Gentlemen, Geoff, just out of curiosity, do you value a president that has jailed more child traffickers and pedophiles in 2 months than the prior president did in 4 years? Do you acknowledge that this is a good thing?
I don't dispute the fact that he is doing some good things. I think he's throwing you the odd bone. I think he told everybody what they wanted.
You literally called out for his assassination just a moment ago.
I'm not calling for his assassination.
No, but you tried to normalize it, and that won't stand here.
No, it's kind of.
Trying to say that, I'm trying to
Oh,
say
yeah.
that anybody that stands up against this so-called in brackets.
Go back to what you're saying. You're agreeing with Mick. You're agreeing with Mick on what you.
Yeah, he's getting there. He's still speaking.
Yeah, I happen to think that if you go up against the deep state, you're going to get assassinated, the same as John F. Kennedy and.
Oh, absolutely. There's been numerous attempts. One of his daughter-in-law opened a package filled with anthrax a few months ago. I can link you all the story if you so desire.
It was
They
cocaine.
are actively trying to assassinate the
It
sun
was
god
coke
emperor.
from a dealer.
Can you explain this sun god emperor thing, please?
Do an etymological and mythical and esoteric analysis of the terms sun, god, and emperor.
I know what this sun god
Right.
thing is.
Okay. Look, let's do that another
Okay,
day.
so
No, hold on. Whoa. Look. Oh, Pliny. Look. Hold on. Whoa. Right, that shut them up. That shut them up, didn't it? Right, okay. Look, we can't all talk over each other. And also, I'm going to change the subject because old Trump, we've done that. And bless him. What can I say?
China.
Right, and the Michael, I wanted to ask you. The last time we spoke, you told me there was fire across the street from your office. Off the back of those fires, and you've had floods since. And you're about to have an exodus coming in this caravan. Well, that's going to affect the southern border, I guess. I don't know what's going to happen there.
I was
California,
hoping for
cessation,
frogs, locusts, and water turning to blood, but
man, California is way too much in the news these days.
Oh yeah, we've had major fires all over the state. We have some people claiming, some eyewitnesses claiming they saw beams of light come down and where the fires started. You have video of a tree burning from the inside out with none of the trees around it on fire. So you have people claiming that there's some kind of directed energy weapons being used. I don't have any personal knowledge of that. All I know is a whole lot of shit burned up. And then we had
Do you
floods
think
afterwards.
that there is a case to be said that there were direct energy machines being used, and equally that there has been weather manipulation, and that's the reason that California has had such drought until a year ago?
It's Trump's fault.
I don't know for sure about whether or not there has been directed energy weapons used. I do believe that the government has directed energy weapons. I mean, we know, for example, that they've had microwave energy crowd control weapons that they've used. I know people who were in the military who used them.
Hold on, Alexander. Hold on. Go on, Michael.
But as far as weather manipulation, I am a believer in chemtrails, and we get an awful lot of chemtrails here in California. And I do believe that the drought has been manipulated. I think something should be done about it.
By the way,
Ollie.
Oh yeah, I know a lot about HARP.
Ollie, it's Vinny.
Go on, Vinny.
Yes,
Hello, mate. Where are you?
Man,
I
just
can't see you.
He popped into the lounge. Is Alex being good? Is he?
Oh, you're with Alex on his. No, he's bloody not. I'll tell you, he's completely abusing Michael Finley. Outrageous.
Only due to certain stimuli.
Hashtag me too.
I promise you, he will lower his tone. He's under strict supervision as of late. We apologise to the masses for Alexander Sangmoore.
God, I tell you what have I got myself into here? Sam,
I think he's interesting.
What I'll do is I'll fly and kick
he
him
is.
If he does anything again. So thank you for putting up with him.
Thank you, Vinny Sullivan.
Over and out, Ollie. I'll catch up with you shortly.
God bless you, mate.
Hey, I'm going to have to go because it's the work day, and I've been informed by my secretary that a client to meet with. But it's great to check in and talk with you guys.
Finley, thank you so much. Thank you. Are we going to do this 9/11 show?
Ollie, 1 second, mate, please.
Go on,
before you
Carl.
go, the stuff you were talking about, you can drop it in Discord here. If you look where the names flash up where we're all talking, if you scroll down a little bit further, you'll see Broken Windows, whatever it's called, or Hall of Crap Mirrors. If you click on that, you can drop messages in. So the stuff you've been talking about tonight, you can send stuff over and we'll all see what you're all talking about.
Okay, I'll try to do that.
It was nice meeting you, my darling.
You can friend each other on Facebook and just look at
Goodbye
each
for
other's.
now. Don't be blackpilled any further. Speak with me in private, and I will give you a brief rundown on the Sun God Emperor and how he is not owned or controlled by the deep state and so forth.
You cannot buy a man who's
not my god.
He's
not my god. He's not my
working with
emperor,
the military.
By the way,
He's
Glenn,
working with the
But he did get
military.
elected president.
right, hang on, Glenn, can you hear me?
Yes, Finny.
Hello,
You
mate.
all right,
Just
buddy?
thought I'd say hello.
Good night, everyone.
No,
Cheers.
Michael,
No, mate.
Michael,
We're about to take off, but
Michael,
I have to leave you with this.
blimey. Michael, before you
It's
go,
incredibly detrimental.
Vinny, be quiet, for God's sake, just for a second. Michael, before you go, mate, please, let's do this 9/11 show. Let's do that and try and get to the bottom of, well, I mean, we know the deal pretty much, yeah, but...
Yeah, there's a lot of evidence of a lot of different people participating, and yes, there's a lot that I could share. It'll take quite a bit of time.
That's fantastic.
I've looked a bit further into that. There's some incredible evidence gone into that now.
Let's try and do that over the next week or over the next fortnight anyway, if we can, Michael. It'll be really, really good to do that finally, and very fascinating. Very
Sounds
fascinating.
good.
Thank you so much. Thank you again for coming on the show, Michael Finley.
Oh, it's an honor.
God bless you.
Cheers, Mick. Take care, mate.
Take care.
He knows a lot about cannabis law, and he's probably off to do a deal or something. Yeah, I don't know. God, blimey.
I seem to know a lot about chemtrailing as well. So
Yeah. He's a very, very astute geezer. Very astute. You had a bit of a tussle, Alex, didn't you? You're getting your teeth in, mate.
Usually it's leftists that I feast on their
He's not a leftist, mate. He's a libertarian, for God's sake.
Big bully, Alex.
Has he been breaking barriers, has he?
No, just explaining the deep state war.
Oh, for fuck's sake, Alex.
Oh,
it was partly me as well.
Okay, well, what we're going to do is I'm going to go kill him with piano wire. So we're going to leave now. But I did hear him say someone called out for the assassination of the most powerful, wonderful man on the planet.
Brother Jeff, you stand
I
accused,
strongly
sir.
disagree with that and say I'm sorry.
No, he
you
didn't
lost
say
a
that.
long time ago, and nothing's going to change that. So goodbye for now.
Alex,
8 attempts and nothing will get him. 8
woman
attempts
on
is
the
long.
planet is Lopi. All right, you've got that wrong.
Sorry.
Hey, Lopi? What's that?
There's no most wonderful man on the planet. It's a woman, and her name is Lopi.
Oh, I
You
see.
are
Of
wonderful,
course, I
darling.
forgot to mention.
That's right,
How
darling.
clumsy of me. But anyway, everyone, take care. And remember, think for yourself, especially if you're anti-Trump. Sorry to hear that. You need to sort yourself out. Take care.
Gentlemen.
Cheerio,
Speak to you
Vinny,
soon.
mate. Cheerio.
Vinny, I'm
Vinny.
not
Cheerio.
anti-Trump. Let me get something emphatically clear. I'm not anti-Trump. I'm anti-state. All forms of state. That's me.
State.
I'm an anarchist.
State.
And
Do you know-
proud of it.
Hold on. Well, you know what? This
That's
show
good.
now,
I like-
this show now has breaks at the top of the hour. It does. I'm going to do something useful with them at some point. But yes, because then this presenter can take a pee and uncork another bottle of wine and stuff. This is the Daily Chaos, yeah? And it's a kind of a Billy Bonus thing, so God knows it'll get cut off in about, yeah. Yes!
He was just playing some music because he was having breaks.
Is that what it was? I thought I was dancing earlier when the intermission earlier. What was the loo after that? I wonder if your Facebook got lost. Oh, that girl starts dancing. She looks like she's having a epileptic seizure. That was me.
I've been looking through the CIA released documents of JFK, and amazing, Helen.
Amazing. My brother has done a lot. He's a wing commander, retired now.
Yeah, so with JFK, it says in there that in one of the parts, it says it's not possible for Lee Harvey Oswald to have done it because the shots would have been... 2 seconds, I just want to explain this part. It's impossible because his marksmanship was below average, and he wouldn't have been able to fire and reload 3 times.
No, I read all that.
In under 5 seconds. I was like, wow.
He was poor, but they got him too quick.
The final shot from the storm drain killed him.
Not Jack Ruby.
I'm not sure if this. I think Discord's making. Sorry, Loopy. 1 second. I think Discord's making a mistake. Loopy and I can't hear most of you talking. I can hear Glenn, and that's it. I can't hear Helen. I can see her lighting up, so I have to leave the room and see if I can come back in. If Olly comes back on, he can add me again.
Yeah. You can hear me now.
Helen, can you talk and see if I can hear you now?
Huh?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Please, Helen, talk.
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
I was getting that. Some people I can't hear, and I don't know if it's other people's volumes are higher than yours, but I could see you trying to talk, and I can't hear the conversation.
Hi,
I'll tell you what. I'm
on Discord because Facebook are doing strange things. I went on to YouTube, and all of a sudden there was an argument between Sadiq Khan and Nigel Farage. So I was in the wrong place there. So I came back onto Discord, and I've been listening and wondering what's going on. So there you go. So I thought, well, in the meantime, I will go and make myself a mug of Ovaltine.
Yeah, go and get a cup of Ovaltine. That's a good idea. I just made myself a nice cup.
I've been working all day.
Sorry.
I have.
Go on, Helen.
I've been working all day.
Have you?
Yeah.
You've been in hospital, Helen, haven't you?
No. I've got a different job now.
Oh, really?
I work at my doctor. I'm the same.
You're a nurse, aren't you?
Yeah, nurse practitioner.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm now working in my doctor's surgery, which is far better because I was in A&E for 2
Yeah.
years and it
Yeah.
was manic.
Yeah, brought.
I couldn't take it anymore.
You couldn't what?
I couldn't handle it anymore. It was getting, we were getting hit
I'm not
about. We were having to
surprised.
treat people
It
in
must be
ambulance.
very, very stressful to work in
Well,
A&E.
anyway, my doctor offered me this job that came up, and I thought about it, and then I decided to take it, and I made the right decision because the surgery's only about 5 minutes from where I live. The hours are better. I've got my own surgery, and I also go out on the district.
I thought you were going to say you also go out on the piss. Sorry.
Pardon?
I thought you were going to say you also go out on the piss.
The thing
You
is,
go out on the district.
I'm
Sorry.
trying to get used to sleeping at night because I'm used to working at night. I was always a night nurse. It's getting there. My routine, I always have that.
Congratulations, Elaine. I'm glad you've got that going for you.
What? What's that, my love? Pardon?
New position and everything.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, it's the best choice I made. Anyway, it was touch and go but it was such a hectic the way we were being treated at the hospital as well. You know, you had to breathe in. We go through the beds that were all in the corridors and treat people in ambulances. Come off a night shift and find your car's been vandalised and things like that.
Oh.
I know how it is.
Not just me. All the night staff.
All the what?
Well,
The
all
night
the
staff.
staff that I worked with, we all came out one morning after 12 hours, and our tires had been slashed and keyed and everything. And they wouldn't let us park in the staff car park. And anyway, my car and others were a write-off, and I had to get another car. But what happened then was my son would drive me into work, and then he'd pick me up, save me having to park the car anywhere, because he was very worried about the car and me. And then my doctor offered me this position, who I've known forever, like the doctor, and I took it. I like I say, I thought about it, and I thought about long term as well, and things were really going downhill on NHS. So I now work for my doctor, and it's a nice new surgery, and we do minor ops and things like that. Like I say, I got my own surgery. I go district nursing as well, and I work Monday to Monday's my day off, and I work till Friday.
It sounds a lot more pleasant. A lot more pleasant.
I love it. I love it. I'm already got a reputation.
Have you?
Yeah, well, this chap came in for just as one example.
Go on.
He came in, he was very worried because he had a lump on his shoulder. So I examined it and that, and had a good look and things, and they noticed. And then I popped across to see the doctor. Anyway, he was still worried to death, this chap. So I said, look, don't worry, dear. I said, we know what we think it is, but we will get it investigated. I said, it's a blind boil.
Blind boil?
And then it dawned on me, the chap was blind himself. And I wanted the ground to open up and swallow me. But he burst out laughing. He said, thank you for treating me normally. Because people... I said, well, where's your dog?
We've got
a white stick.
What did he say to that? What did he say?
He said,
what did he do without a
dog
stick?
sat outside the office, but I didn't notice that he was blind at all.
No.
And then I told him he had a blind boil and that, and then I thought, oh my God, what have I said? And then he started laughing his head off. And that was one.
That's funny.
I've done worse.
Go on, Helen. Go on, tell us the worst
They come
ones.
to me, they say now, if I'm depressed, not going to ring the Samaritans, I should ring you. Good.
Helen. Helen Lasky Smith.
What I did
Who
about
signs
the
off
folding-
every message she ever writes on Facebook with Love Al.
That's the way I always sign off, yeah.
That reminds
You-
me of what I drew on my folder today at the class. I drew a picture of a stick man, but he was a butcher, right? And I drew the meat counter and everything. I drew another stick man standing there next to him, and the butcher, he goes, "How can I help you?" And goes, "Have you got a kidney, please?"
Oh
no! And the doctor that was doing the class, he saw it and he just started laughing.
I would have too. I offered you one of mine, OP. If I would have been a match. I
found out that there's so many things that
they might catch me coming out of custom, out through the X-ray. In fact, where's that other kidney? Did you sell it? Pardon?
The thing of it is that you've got this big criteria of being a match, and then once that's all done, and let's say I had the transplant, there's still that chance that it won't work in my body.
I know that, yeah, but they've come a long way. They've come a long way now. It's a lot different now. They've come a long way since when I was doing dialysis.
And my body can reject it within, instantly, or it could take it years to decide not to like it.
Exactly, yeah. You're right, yes.
It's amazing what they can do now, though. There was a bloke the other day, he had an entire penis transplant, didn't he? He had the balls and everything.
Yes.
Yeah, he had it all chucked on.
I was a shaver on a vasectomy ward.
Don't know what happened. Ooh.
Pardon?
I don't know what happened to him.
I don't know if they stitched it on.
Didn't get on with his barber or something. But he had it all of it. It's amazing. Yeah. And now they reckon they're growing. It's frightening, isn't it? Actually, it's frightening. They reckon they're growing, or they reckon they're going to start growing humans' brains in pigs.
Who are they going to choose?
Actually, externally to pigs. Externally, they reckon they can grow them externally to the pig.
Yes,
somehow.
I've heard about this. Yes,
it's peculiar, and
they've got the wherewithal now, haven't they?
Yeah, I tell you, that's not halal, is it? That's not halal research.
I'm back, you lucky devils. I got myself a nice mug of mocha.
Nice mug of mocha. Go on. Well, I got myself a nice mug of Rioja.
Got my own team.
You got a mug of what, Ollie?
I got a Rioja. I got a mug of Rioja. Well, actually, no, it's not. It's down the road. It's Valencian mug. No, Valdepeñas. Very good.
What is that? Red wine, is that? Or?
Yeah, it's actually, you can get this odd bins. It's about, I don't know, it's under a £5 a bottle, I think, in odd bins, or it used to be. It's probably about 7, 8 now. I don't know. Vignal barley. Quite nice.
I got
Dirt cheap here. Dirt cheap. Cheaper than Coke.
Better for you than Coke.
No, it's way better. Yeah, well, that's not difficult. I've got 2 blind boils, blind covered with skin ball sack. Lots of laugh. Says John Middleton. He keeps putting these comments in, thinking he's going to trip me up, and I'm going to read them. Donald Davidson, Don from Ohio, checking in. Hey, Don. Anyone going to Tommy's thing on May the 6th? Mark Deere asks, is anybody going to Tommy's thing on May the 6th?
Oh, Tommy Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's going to Speaker's Corner. Speaker's Corner. He's got a lot to say. He's very good. He's
Aren't they
excellent.
walking to Twitter HQ?
The Dragons have taken in a big petition about Sadiq Chan and all. They've collected a lot of information, and they've handed over 53 pages. They did it all properly.
Oh, I've heard about that. That apparently the Dragons have done a very good job getting him investigated.
Yeah, they got all
or
the
something,
proof.
aren't they?
Yeah, they got all the proof and everything.
Well done,
This is
Dragons,
Helen.
right?
Helen Lasky Smith.
Oh
Yeah.
yes,
Well
absolutely.
done.
I agree. And they made sure that they didn't put it through a shredder. Anyway, so
No, they need to put Sadiq Khan through the shredder.
you know, I've been on that man's case ever since I glanced at him over 2 years ago now on the TV, and I didn't know who he was from Adam. He certainly wasn't the mayor. And I got on the Facebook and I said, that chap on that, I described him. I said,
You're lucky that you've
trust
only been aware of him for 2 years, I got to say.
He looked like trouble.
Call me old-fashioned, but I believe in our country, as in a white British country, we should have a white British. All the people in power and in positions of influence should be indigenous Brits. Call me old-fashioned.
Well, that's what's in the charter.
Exactly. Exactly.
That you're not allowed to hold a high office, even if you're born here of a different origin. Even if you're born here, you're not allowed to hold a high office.
Well,
I can't understand what.
I think we should start by getting rid of the blooming Queen and having a British Queen rather than a German Queen.
Well, let us hold Parliament first.
Well, yeah, get rid of them too.
Yeah. And the
I'd
House
love
of Lords.
the original bloodline, sir, because it's so. I don't think Alfred the Great has any kids living anymore.
So hold on, what is this thing going on the 6th then? Charlotte Jameson says she's going. Kelly Cole, the London Mayor's got little man syndrome. And Paula Allen says that she's got coffee.
It's to do with the Windrush people, and they're going to Speaker's Corner because they've been neglected. The Jamaicans who we invited over here in the 70s for the 3 years.
I got to say,
they're going to Speaker's Corner this weekend.
That's right. I was going to say, when they said back along at Prime Minister's questions that Theresa May said they're getting rid of deporting people, they were deporting them all right, but they were deporting the wrong ones. They weren't the ones we thought they were deporting.
I'll tell you another thing I think we should have in this.
It's the children who came with the parents, and if their passport was lost and you came on the passport, and
or if they didn't bother to apply for a passport,
decided to actually get rid of it, and under Theresa May apparently.
Well, also Cole, also many of them,
don't they, or their IDs.
But they
chuck them in the ocean, and they still get here. And they're illegal, and they get.
Alan, can we let Ollie speak? It is his show. I think he's trying to say.
Ollie. Yes, sure.
No,
Ollie.
No, you're right.
Sweetheart. No.
That's all right.
It's okay, so I'm drinking my Ovaltine.
Oh, good.
Ollie's show is the Vince Cawthron show. Oh, sorry.
It's low pay Vince, right?
No, I can't remember what I was going to say anyway. Another great thought lost to the world. You know, Paul Rees-Ham says May the 6th is the biggest free speech march ever, from Speaker's Corner to Twatter HQ. That's the deal.
Yeah, that's
Paul Rees-Ham, thank you. Chris Warren is about freedom of speech on May the 6th. Stav Woodcutter, the real mayor of London is the Lord Mayor, not Sadiq Khan. Stav, call in, man. Right. Get your ass on Discord, sir, because I know you've got another thing to offer and would probably have an interesting chat with Alex. I don't know where Alex is buggered off to. We've got Sam here. I've got to... Yeah. Sorry, Lopi?
He said he was going to the piano bar.
I think it would be good to have Stav on the show because to me, he's my #1 resident historian. He knows all about history. He knows a lot about a certain period of history, and he's very knowledgeable.
You're right. You guys are right. Paul and Stabby should be on the air. Bloody Stav, you grump. Get on the air.
Is he grumpy? Is he a bit grumpy?
Well, he's an old man. He's an old man like me. Us old men, we tend to be a bit grumpy. That's part of our character, I think.
I love Stan with all my heart. You know, if
he's good as gold, isn't
he? Taken, I'd rip him away and take him off into La La Land.
Oh, bless.
We've had old Baxter pop into the comments saying that he's been banned from Facebook or something. So he's got problems getting in on there. And anyway, he's on YouTube at the moment.
Oh my goodness, I thought that ban was up. Must be another one.
They don't like what he says. They don't like what he says. He seems like such a mild-mannered man too. I don't know.
He posted very long.
This is potentially some of the most amazing news. It has to be said. Right now, today, this thing going on with Korea. I know it ain't, till the fat lady, the big chap, does his whatever, finishes popcorn, but it does look really good. It looks amazing. It looks quite romantic. I mean, they almost had a cuddle, didn't they? Yeah. It's also ridiculous. People are just like a bunch of children, and yeah, they get together, and guess what? Oh, they might get along. Even Trump and Macroney seem to get along, and maybe did a bit of that prep school stuff. I don't know.
I think something's in the water over in Asia because, like you said, North and South Korea are buddy-buddying, getting into bed and comfy.
What does this tell us about the relationship of North Korea with China? That is actually the big question now, no?
China and Russia in bed with each other. They love each other now.
Yeah. So why is North Korea palling up with Trump?
This is what they all do. This is what the mafia do. The mafia come to you with smiles and friendly handshakes just before they tear your throat out with a big knife or put a bullet in the back.
He can't do it. He can't. He hasn't got a big knife. Go on.
Didn't Trump go to China before he went to North Korea or South Korea? Trump actually went to China first, didn't he?
They all used to shake hands and give nice smiles to Gaddafi.
Because the reason why North Korea is getting on with Trump is because, just like Carl said, that he had made deals with China, and in order for China to be the middleman, or the United States to be the middleman, they've all got to have an agreement. So that's why North Korea and China have an agreement. They probably have their own behind-the-scenes deal that's separate from the United States. And the United States got a deal going on with China and probably working on some sort of deal with North Korea. North Korea probably
the only problem, Loopy, sorry, but the only problem I see with this is North and South Korea have been in the same predicament before, and it went nowhere. It was just a load of words and no action. So what they're actually saying to them now is they want to see action now. They want to see action. They want to see nuclear disarmament, basically, within that country for it to progress any further. Otherwise, the sanctions are going to stay the same. Or they go and give them freedom and their off-child banking system.
Well, isn't that what we shall see, I guess, because, North and South are talking about being brothers in arms again, just like the East and West Germany were. I mean, East Germany was always talking about West Germany being its brother, and yet at the same time, it's willing to shoot them. So, we shall see what happens when the wall falls.
When the waffles? when the waffles are cooked.
But I know that I'm not so stupid that everybody's got their backhanded deals with each other. It's not so. China's probably wanting to have some sort of economic thing going on with Russia and everybody over there, and the United States. United States doesn't want to be left out of the loop because that's the way it is. So you've got.
It's been said that if when President
Go on, Helen.
when President Trump comes over here, they said that somebody said that he'd probably stay at Windsor Castle, which is.
I think.
He's what? He's going to stay at Windsor Castle?
Yeah, well, that was what they're thinking of. And then he's going to have a state visit later on in the year, because this is supposed to be a working one or something.
It's quite nice, that Windsor Castle.
Then he's going to have a state visit later. Yeah. He ought to bring his bikers with him.
That's nice, Windsor. But it's a bit packed out with tourists. It's lovely walking down there by the river. And, Windsor's nice.
Want to go to London?
Stav throws in a couple of interesting comments. Stav Woodcutter. Xi Jinping had a lot to do with Kim coming round, and he says Xi Jinping did not want the military-industrial complex capers on their front door. And, yeah. I don't know. Remember McCarthy. Yes, and meanwhile, over on Facebook, yes, I don't know. This is the late night edition. I guess we could see what else is going on in the world of fake stream. Just,
What do you think about the new prince's name, Prince Louis of?
Oh yeah, Louis, named after the pedo. No, well, I don't know. Named after Louis bloody Mountbatten. I mean, come on, Savile's mate. Yeah, the guy that introduced Savile to Philip and in turn to Charles was Louis Mountbatten. Just saying.
Ollie, talking of.
Just saying. I don't know. No idea. Makes you wonder.
He will be that had.
Okay, sorry. Go on. What was that again, Lopi? What was that?
If he ever becomes king, he will be the second Louis we've ever had as king.
The second?
We had a King Louis before. He didn't last very long because either he died or he got assassinated or something. But he was only a short long.
When? Yeah, when do we have a Louis? We never had a Louis.
Talking of Lord Mountbatten, Ollie.
I'll tell you what, Louis Mountbatten would have liked to have been king.
Do you know how we knew that he had a bad case of dandruff?
Yeah, because he left his head and shoulders on the beach.
Yeah, you got it.
Sorry.
What about the connection between
very bad.
What's his name? Virgin Man and Nixium.
Who?
What, Branson?
Yeah, that's the one, Richard Branson. Yeah,
and who?
To
Nixium.
Nixium, and
Nixium. Yeah. What's that pedo thing?
Epstein. Yes. Well.
Yeah, but Branson. No. Hold on. People went to his island that had an alliance with that Nixium thing. Now Branson, who I do not like at all, I personally, frankly. However, he, he did say he didn't know anything about their alliance with this thing on the island, and he apparently hires it out. He hires out the island. If you want to go, Necker Island.
Ollie, can I butt in there?
Isn't he a visitor of Epstein?
It's been blown away recently. They're rebuilding
it. Branson's Island, mate. It got blown down, and they rebuilt it, and it got burnt down.
Burnt down again?
Yeah,
That's
it blew
careless,
down in
isn't it?
hurricane,
Careless.
And then it got burnt down. I wonder why it got burnt.
That's that Kate Winslet keeps going, isn't it? Putting out her cigarettes in the wrong place. She's useless, that Kate Winslet. Whenever she goes to Necker Island, she burns it down. There was a fire there when she was there years ago. I think. Anyway, who cares? I don't know. Anyway, yeah. Blimey.
George
So-
Clooney, he's Ireland.
But he's
He told
Oh,
the immigrants
Clooney.
they could go there, and they did. Loads of them, too many. Wrecked
Clooney.
it.
what?
And
What did he say? What did George Clooney say?
Back along, sometime last year, I believe. He's got an island, and
Probably.
he said that the immigrants can use his island, but he
Oh.
didn't expect the amount that turned up. And he demolished the island, and George Clooney had to make a quick getaway and beg for people to help him.
He went to
And
Beaconsfield. He went to live in Beaconsfield instead. Eh?
Another do-gooder. Never mind.
Oh, hold on. I can't stand George Clooney. I tell you. He is a presidential candidate in the making. They would so love to put him on the Democratic ticket. That kind of character, no? Ex-Harvey Weinstein friend, all that.
They're all good actors, aren't they? Really? I mean, like our government.
Do you think that he didn't know anything?
Pardon?
Do you think that he did not know anything about Weinstein? Because Matt Damon, he did a faux pas, didn't he? He said something along the lines of, I didn't know something. And it turned out that he must have known something because of things that he'd said that, I don't know. Anyway, yeah. And it kind of, and him and Clooney were thick as thieves for some time at Miramax.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, I think that
Yeah, of course he did.
Stav Woodcutter says, Lopi is correct, Ollie. King Louis VIII of France was declared king by some angry barons way back in 1216. Wow. If we had Alfred Burgess on the show, he could probably remember it and tell us all about it.
Albert, not Alfred.
Albert. We need to get Albert back on. He's got problems with his Discord.
I think Stav and Albert would have a good debate. The two of them together, because I think they'd make for a very interesting debate.
If you're looking for a 24-hour show, get Albert on. He'll hold it by himself.
Charlotte
All right,
Jameson's off to bed. Hey,
King Louis
go on, Lopi.
was the son of King Philip of France. King Louis became the king after the barons forced King John overthrew him. Then you had King Louis, and I just put it in the Discord, but it says here, rewind to 1215, when King John was not a popular man, forced by his long-suffering barons to sign the Magna Carta. He immediately reneged on his word and tried to have the document rescinded. His forces attacked the harried the lands and the signatories. Having failed to control John, the barons took a logical but unprecedented
Sorry, Lopi. Carry on.
throw. There was no Republicans. England had to have a king. Who should it be? John's son Henry was 8 years old, and the other obvious was John's nephew Arthur had disappeared in mysterious circumstances some years before, widely rumored to have been murdered by John's order. The barons needed a strong man and an experienced man, a man of royal blood. They looked across the channel and found one. Louis had been born in 1187, eldest son of the heir of French King Philip Augustus. In 1200, he married Blanche of Castile, granddaughter of Henry II of England, and Ellen of Aquitaine, via their daughter Eleanor and her husband Alfonso the Seventh of Castile. King Philip had been in various stages of conflict with Henry II, sons and blah, 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 blah. There we go. Louis the First.
Oh, there you go. Louis. The eighth. Louis the Eighth. Yes, correct, Lopi. All poxy Normans, though, not English, says Staff. Yeah. Okay, so Anne Widdecombe. Anne Widdecombe gives this brilliant retort to Remainer plans to thwart Brexit. I thought a bit of Anne Widdecombe's cozy, matronly bosom at this time of a Friday night, Saturday night, Friday night. Oh God! The will of the British people will prevail, despite attempts by Remainer politicians to undo Brexit by the back door. Former politician Anne Widdecombe said. So let's see what she says. Oh, hold on, because she's game for a laugh. Hey, go on, Helen. Oh, hold on. Oh, go on, Helen. Yes.
You know the president of France before the one they got now, Macron. What was he called? Hollande. He's
yes.
a peace,
Hey?
and he's told everybody to stop pressurizing and being stupid about letting Britain leave.
He did, didn't he?
And they want us gone, and he's got to go, and that's it. I read it tonight.
Who's got to go?
Well, the president before Macron, I think it was Hollande.
Francois Hollande. Yeah.
Yeah, well, he's written a piece, and he's saying that they've got to go by the will of the British people and stop and we must go, and there should be no arguments about it.
Wow.
And he said, and there shouldn't be anybody trying to overturn the referendum result, and that David Cameron shouldn't have let us have one anyway. But now we got it, they ought to accept it. Mm.
Well, he did that to get re-elected, didn't he, David Cameron? He said, we will guarantee.
Yes, I know, yes.
Referendum.
Yes.
But he did that, I think, to get the vote to get voted back in.
Yeah, well, we held him to it, didn't we?
I'm sure Merkel is cursing herself into her grave, thinking about what David Cameron did.
She's in America on a whistle-stop tour.
Who, Merkel?
Yeah, yeah, today.
I heard it on the news. On the way to Columbus.
I just could have phoned him up.
They
and emailed or something.
They had to do political visits, didn't they? They had to do their visits.
Yeah, but
and
they're all opting in now before Britain because President Trump's got some trade sorted out for us as well.
I have to say, there are people that believe that Angela Merkel, Hitler's daughter, which I have to.
I would be surprised.
No. Come on. Hitler would be 128 years old.
Well,
So,
perhaps she's just descended somewhere.
so unless Merkel was made in a test tube or something,
which is what. No, that's what they say has happened.
She's very quiet.
Possibly, but I mean, to compare Angela Merkel with greatly Adolf Hitler, Hitler tried to save Europe from the Soviets, and he did. He prevented a massive invasion by the Soviets across Europe, and he lost in doing so, admittedly, but he depleted the Soviet forces so well. He done a brilliant job of saving Europe, Hitler, and yet Merkel is destroying Europe. They're completely as opposite.
They're not saying that they're comparison to each other, but Hitler was a Jew that converted to Islam.
Yeah.
Hitler was a Jew.
Oh,
that
blimey.
converted to
Hold
Islam.
on.
His mother was of Jewish descent, and the mother was Jewish descent, and doesn't mean she practiced Judaism. It's two different things altogether.
But he was a Jew.
In Birmingham,
converted to Islam.
Judaism, it comes through the mother's birthright, and that happens because they got that persecuted
But he's
coming into the Midlands
Look,
of Europe.
Can I just ask?
He was an Aryan. He wasn't a Jew. He might have had some Jewish ancestry, but he was definitely an Aryan. And he is as different to Merkel as chalk to cheese. Merkel has destroyed Europe, and she's still destroying Europe with the help of our.
Yeah, but remember, she's just a puppet on a string, isn't she?
Bring the conversation back a bit for a bit of a laugh and a chuckle, but you're talking about President Trump. When you've got the French president who's gone over there, Emmanuel Macron, and Trump's made a point of touching his hand and cleaning his clothes, being a gay boy, hasn't he?
That's right. He did, didn't he? He rubbed his dandruff off his collar.
Macron.
Hey?
Hold on. Do you remember how much stick Macron gave Theresa May because they were just holding hands walking down the steps?
Yeah, that's right.
Of touching his hand, touching hands.
Yeah,
He's taking the piss.
yeah.
President Trump's got a right good sense of humour.
Did you see his face when Merkel was speaking?
I think you're right. I think you're right.
Stage.
He's
Did
got
you
a
see
wicked
Trump's
sense of
face?
humour, and that's what I've said.
Did you
Very
see
dry.
Trump's face
Very
when
dry.
Merkel
Very
was
droll.
talking?
I like his style.
Yeah, did anyone see his face?
In America, they started talking about her on the news radio that my dad was listening to, and they were praising her like she was the newest sliced bread. And I looked at my dad. I said, "We're not going to listen to this shit, are we?" Like that. And he goes, "What, you don't like her?" I said, "No, I don't. She's a Rottweiler. She's worse than Camilla."
Who's that? Who's that?
She's a Rottweiler worse than Camilla.
Who?
Camilla.
What, Camilla?
The Rottweiler, didn't they?
Right.
I do have to say, I do.
She's being poised for Queen now. Sorry, go on, Jeff.
Sorry, Ollie, I was just going to say, I may not trust Trump. I might think he's part of the deep state or whatever you want to call it. But I do like his character, and he's got an ego. But I think you can't be a leader of the biggest nation on the planet without having an ego to some degree.
Yeah, you're right.
He's definitely a narcissist as well.
That's right.
Every single leader is a narcissist. You need to be a narcissist to
I think
stand
you're
up
right.
against everybody else. So it doesn't matter who you're voting for, they will be a narcissist. It's the person who wants to
Look at
stand
the
up
likes
to
of Tony
everybody
Blair,
else.
for God's sake, which is the alt left's bloody, poster child.
I think he was more right wing, wasn't he?
Exactly. And yet they fawn over him, don't they? I mean, or at least that's the way it's going. It makes you
That's actually
wonder.
very true, isn't it?
Pardon?
That's very true. The left are using him as an icon when he was right wing.
Yeah, almost. I mean, it's not quite there, but I could see how on this trajectory it would be possible for the common consensus of the British people, the younger British people, to be that Tony Blair is some kind of a hero because he fought for the EU, a vision for a one-party state. It's just fucking, you cannot make it up.
I was just thinking that.
George Orwell did. He did make it up, but he didn't really make it up. He just knew folks down the club that were telling him what they were planning.
I have a saying that I say, and I remind people this all the time: snowflakes melt, but idiots are forever.
As I get older, I've become very attached to the word moron.
Moron.
I think I'm going to get a shirt made with that.
It's not as easy as that. It's not as easy as that, is it? I mean, people, we talk about this. People, they're busy paying tax for most of their working day, and they got kids and all the rest of it, and TV dinner in front of bloody Big Brother. How ironic.
The thing is, Ollie, they're so pushed in their jobs and things like that they
that's right.
Stop and research stuff like that we have. So they're caught in this rat race matrix, and by the time they get home after a day's work, all they want to do is put their feet up, have a bath, and have something to eat and go to bed, or watch a bit of telly before they go to bed to unwind from the hard rigors of their day.
Yeah,
that's what I see.
Use a sex toy. Yes, unwind, basically. I don't know what they do. Whatever. Yeah. Watch Delia Smith.
Watch Delia Smith.
Well, it's the same thing in a different way. I don't know. Whatever. Yes.
Prefer
Look, okay, we'll take some comments. Axiom Curb community, who are the only people that are commenting on YouTube. So thank you very much indeed, Stav. Nick Clegg apologized nearest to a non-narcissist politician we ever had. Lots of laughs. Oh, blimey. Nick Clegg apologized nearest to a non-narcissist politician we ever had. Nick Clegg. Nick Clegg.
He just
Miranda. Yes. Tony Blair. Corey
The reason
Sam.
that Nick Clegg had no ego is because
What?
he had no personality. I said the reason Nick Clegg had
He
no
had an ego. He had an ego. He was a very clever politician to
yeah,
get
he was
get as far as he did, as young as he did. Thank God his constituents saw through him.
Yeah, but when he is about as exciting as a damp cloth, you know, I mean, he was just seriously lacking in personality, I thought, Nick Clegg, to be honest. I think
Well,
even
yeah,
David
I
Cameron
agree.
had-
Compared
I think
to
even David Cameron had
George
personality.
Kennedy, say, but you know, but he was the Tony. He was the Lib Dem Tony, wasn't he? He was the mini Tone. He's another Macron. Macron is another Tony.
He was a
Yeah,
Bilderberg,
their names
wasn't
are interchangeable.
And he was the only Bilderberg in the Lib Dem party as well, Nick Clegg, and a former arsonist as well, by what I understand. But
And also somebody who was
Well,
brought in to the political ranks. I think it was at Oxford by his mentor Leon Britton. And when that fat bloke in the Libs, Cyril Smith, copped it, and we knew what was the case with that guy then. Online, people did. Oh, yeah. I mean, it was way known. No question about it. He wrote a glowing tribute to Cyril Smith when he died. Did Nick Clegg. Yeah, very odd character, in my opinion. Seems to me. Don't know.
Hypocrites.
Odd.
Not like
Only
you.
Sam says vile cretin, and Stav says liberals, Labour all come from the Fabian Society.
that's right. Yeah, absolutely.
Apparently, I had a posh rant.
He did that. Nice one, Cyril. Nice one, son. Nice one, Cyril. Let's have another one. Is that about Cyril? I don't know. I'm just asking.
I'd like to know who's running the country.
Whitehall and
Well,
Deep State.
Who's in charge? I mean,
Deep State.
That's simple. The banking system, the financial belt. It's the estate what runs the actual estate what's there. It's where you're voting for our puppets, and literally our puppets, because we are in a banking system which is a fiasco, isn't it?
yeah.
10% of true value. Commodity selling things, a piece of paper of gold, 10 times pieces of paper for that £1 of gold, and people are buying a commodity of a piece of paper. If you go out gambling, you're going to lose eventually, aren't you?
You only lose.
Special kind of stupid.
Not necessarily. Some gamblers are winners. If they know what they're doing, they're disciplined, they can make a lot of money being a gambler over the long term.
Right.
I have a solution to all the problems. You appoint me as ultimate dictator. We'll get rid of the parliament.
Benevolent
we'll
dictator.
Power back to the people. I'll be the baddie where I'll kill all the pedos and all the murderers and all the bad guys and
Like
I'll
Russell Crowe in Gladiator.
Yeah, that's what I was saying the other night. You have the murderers, put them in like the Colosseum. Don't pay for spectators. Let it just be guards, and let the last one that comes out alive lives, because they can go and live in prison, because that'll save us millions of dollars of feeding and healthcare and all that crap that you pay for people that already killed somebody. Give unto God what is God, right?
Yeah.
So let God take them. We don't need to keep them here. Pedos, same thing. Put them in the stocks. Let the people do whatever they want, but not kill them. And then when they, after a week or so, cut their willies off or their tits off or something like that, so they can't do nothing nasty, and then and put them in prison.
Cut off their ghoulies.
God would have a hard on for Lopi because Lopi keep having fresh souls.
A little bit of fear, it will stop the baddies from doing it. And if they see what the masses do to them while they're in the stocks for kitty fiddling and doing all the other things, and then going to prison and being put into, you know, the Colosseum of death, then they probably won't do it.
Well, I think that if it's a foreigner who's over here and commits a crime and they have to go to prison, they should be sent to their country to serve the sentence, because our prisons are so much better than what theirs are. I mean, it's like Buckingham Palace, really, comparison.
If we have so many radical people in this country and they are going to prison for, they can get further radicalized in the prisons.
Yeah, I know.
So you've got a point there. Just send them back home.
Yes, and let them serve their time in their own hellholes.
Yeah, but that's a good idea. But here's the problem: they go and get false documentation, get a new name and whatnot. What they need to do to protect them not coming back in is to finger and DNA them and have that information. Have everybody, when you come into the country, do a fingerprint.
I want
border passport. That way you have no way of not proving who you are, that you're legal to be here.
Last night there was a point what was made of.
But they don't want that, do they?
All politicians' fault, because there's not been one in the last 20 years, I think they said, who stood up actually going to make a immigration policy or stand by it. Not one politician. I actually thought
you're always going to have.
His name was Nigel. He was one politician who stood up and said about it, and there's been a few others as well.
Nigel Evans.
That was question time. Sorry?
You're always going to have a margin of error, but the disparity between, you know, it's just gone through the roof. It's just gone absolutely ballistic, and it is by design. And it's just incredible that people aren't talking about Schengen. You know, quite aside from migration and people's cultures changing, the main thing is that there's been quite a lot of Europeans died over the last few years as a result of Schengen. Nobody's talking about it.
Become absolutely paralyzed by fear of being labelled a racist because this political correctness is so entrenched.
But the first duty of government is supposed to be to protect its people, and that, you know, by having Schengen just open. I mean, for example, the guys that ran a car down the Rambla in Barcelona and killed a bunch of folks and then shot a bunch of others and stuff. They were having, you know, a soiree in Paris the weekend before and just went over the border. The people that Bataclan, they were hanging out in Austria, weren't they? And so on and so forth. And, you know, we just got to...
We've got to tackle the problems that have evolved over the years in reverse order. So I think what we need to do is to get rid of all this absolute crap political correctness.
But this is, aside from political correctness, this is just a practical point of, are you looking after your people? And Schengen clearly is failing in those two examples I gave, for example, but there are countless examples that you could cite. And where is the debate? There is nil debate. Nil debate. A very logical debate, no. It's got nothing to do with... Eh?
You're right, Ollie. You're dead right about that. Petitions and debates. Last year, at the beginning of the year, we had a petition for Sadiq Khan again. Anyway, the numbers went through the roof. So it was decided there'd be a debate in the Commons in October last year, 6 months after the petition, by the way. And you know, it never happened.
What?
Yeah, it never happened. They
The
never had
debate never happened.
Pardon?
The debate never happened.
No.
How many
Yeah,
people
it didn't
signed
happen,
that?
no. Pardon?
How many
Oh,
people
it went
signed
through
that?
the roof. There was that many. It went through the roof.
You have to have
And,
100,000 for a debate, don't you?
Yeah, it was more than that. It was more than that. And I don't know the exact amount, but I know it was a lot more than what was needed. Much more. And they said they set a date in October, which was 6 months after the petition had been closed. And it never happened. They never had the debate. I put it out on Facebook many times. And it's not just that debate petition. All these petitions are a waste of time. They don't get. It just looks good on Facebook.
Well, it reminds me. You remind me, Helen, of that debate, which was about, look, just get us out of the EU now, and it was basically that, I think, and it got 100,000 signatories, and it went to debate, and they put it in a committee room. There were about 16 or maybe 18 people in this room. That was it. There were maybe about, I don't know, 10 decision makers around the table. I'm not sure, maybe a bit more, but it was not the Commons chamber, which is what they say. We're going to debate this, yeah. And the Commons, they don't turn up anyway, do they? Unless it's about their expenses.
Well, yes, and the House of Lords. I mean, they're not fit for anything.
Oh, incredible!
Got the 100,000 votes for, isn't it? For getting rid of abolishing the House of Lords. Yeah.
The Lords went against the government. What was it? 3 or 4 times this week? This week.
Every time.
It's a massive week. Pardon?
There's loads to go yet.
Yeah.
But what they say they'll do is that if they get 100,000 votes, that they'll have a debate in the House of Commons, right? The debate in the House of Commons. But the problem is they start filibustering, which is wasting time, faffing around, so that it all gets thrown out.
Okay, let me ask you a question, you folks. Are we... Can we can't rely on the politicians. We know that. We can't rely on Parliament. We can't rely on Westminster, Commons or Lords. We've seen that. They do not share the same values as do the British people. Certainly, turned out that referendum day. Good turnout now. So, do we rely more on politics to solve our problems, or do we rely more on politicians being cajoled by public opinion?
I personally think you can't.
Hold on. Who's that? Who's got the donkey? Someone's got a donkey.
I'm sorry, it was me.
Oh my goodness.
I personally think you can't construct something new.
Agree with that one.
I think personally you can't construct something new until you've got rid of the old. So I think you've got to do like they done in Iceland. Iceland had the right idea. They didn't mess about. They just pulled all the bloody government out there and pulled all their bankers out and put them all in jail. That's what we got to do. We've got to just pull them all out, throw them in jail, and then start anew. But you've got to be able to do things in a slightly different way. I think what you need, for example, is all indigenous. You should have certain ground rules. All indigenous Brits, they should all be family people with children, so they've got something to invest in the future because they've got children. Yeah, so they're more likely to do good for the country if they got children.
Okay, hold on. Let me ask this question. Excuse me, Jeff. Let me ask this question again. Can we rely more on the politicians to look out for us, or the swell of public opinion, is it enough?
Well, I don't think they're listening to public opinion, are they? So
no.
What the people want. They
just do
we have to become more self-responsible. If we go and listen to one or the other, we're not having the solution. We must become more self-responsible, because in order for us to
what does that mean?
well,
going out on marches, yeah?
For our own actions, doing what's right with as far as common law, you know, following the golden rule, that sort of thing, because we don't need a government to tell us what we can and can't do. We don't need a government to tell us what's right and what's wrong, do we not? And it's the lackadaisical idiot people that say we need the government to tell us when to wipe our bums, what milk we're allowed to drink, what this and what that, and when. Now, it's the same situation if you listen to the masses. The masses will end up becoming the government that we just stopped listening to. So you must become self-reliant, self-responsible.
The problem I see is this. If you were to get rid of all these politicians, all these MPs, somebody would fill the power vacuum, right? Now, they might start off with good intentions. They might have lovely intentions for us all to restore this and restore that. And the problem is absolute power corrupts, and power corrupts absolutely. So you end up with the same bloody situation sooner or later. So it doesn't matter which people you get in power, they're always going to become corrupt, because this is the sort of thing that it does. It's just a natural progression. Unfortunately, you have to get rid of all of it and keep it got rid of, in my opinion.
What I said. That's exactly what I said, Jeff.
Exactly, yeah. I know what you're saying, Lo. That's the way I perceive it too. We need to be responsible for ourselves.
The government and the councils, the police force, and everything else getting privatised, they're actually corporations. It's corporations what are fining you. It's corporations what are making these legislations. It's corporations which are fucking the system up. And
they lobby government.
Find now that deeply within our politics system.
Yeah.
MPs have investments in these companies and offshore companies. Investments when they're buying properties.
That's right.
They're only paying their taxes once they got caught out. Look at Mr. Hunt buying a load of private apartment blocks. And
yeah, what's his name? Bloody Theresa May, the Prime Minister's husband, is G4S. Hey, Carl?
Yes, it is. And they want to actually give them the same right as the rest of the police. So the G4S is a private corporation business, even though the police force is a corporation business anyway. The government's on about giving her husband and another company the rights to actually have the arrest as a policeman to you. Police officer. Someone who's going to do statutory law, who's going to fine you for
Stav, word cutter, as you saying.
Only works.
Stop being corporate.
Only works. It floats on the stock market, and there's shareholders in that company who want to get a money return. And that's why you're getting fined. And that's why they're making more and more legislation, because the corporations want to fine you because it's a business.
It's all a business. All governments are corporations. All countries are corporations even. There's no such thing as land masses anymore. We just live in corporations. United Kingdom Limited or United Kingdom PLC or which. I mean, this is it. Everything's corporate. There is nothing left that is not corporate. I'm telling you, because all the courts are corporations. All the police constabularies, they're all corporations. Everything is all corporate. All
Stav, you should come in and talk about this. Yeah, about this. David Witcher talks a lot about that, doesn't he? And
well, they just lobby the government. The government money. So if you're a big company and you've got a little competitor that's starting to make waves for you, you go to the government and you say, "I'll give you a nice little backhander. All you've got to do is pass some legislation that will impede that company's progress in whatever way, and it cuts out the competition. This is what they do. This is why you've got big monopolies now controlling everything, and it's all become totally out of balance, if you like.
Olly,
You know what?
I put a link in the crack mirror. Oh, new donkey sound, my love.
Oh, I want a donkey sound. I found one actually. I was mixing them into the new theme tune, but then I thought it sounded a bit corny and I got rid of them. But no chickens. No chickens in this thing.
The trouble is, if you start doing donkey sounds, people will think you're affiliated with the DVP, won't they?
Ah. or having, taking the mic.
Or when you want to have a order, you just go, yeah, have your donkey running around. Everybody will stop.
Do you like? Hey?
Theresa May said that all the children belong to the state. So probably to get the child tax credit.
What a moo.
That's what she said.
She
She said that the your children belong to the state, not you.
Oh yeah,
and,
I saw that.
What a.
And I thought to myself, my goodness, she'll be claiming child tax credit for everybody.
I don't have kids, but I have to say that sounds like the sort of remark that somebody would make if they didn't have kids.
Well, she hasn't got any issue.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
But
communism.
even so, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that at all. I think that, my God, I mean, it's truth. If anyone,
The question is, have the Tory party gone so far right wing that they're now on the hard left? Because I think that's where exactly they are. If they're stating that all children are owned by the state, that is a communist thing. Where
well, they want to wrangle us into this EU.
It's on a video. Well, and she
the
said
whole
that
idea behind communism of private property, everything's owned by the state. That's communism, mate.
well, I think I just couldn't believe it.
It's incredible, isn't it? It's absolutely you can't make this up, can you?
No, you can't. You can't make it up. You can't make it up. So look, I think we'll go for about another 20 minutes or so. Yeah. And people are going to bed, quite rightly, some of them. Sensible people. And do you want a bit of music or yeah?
I'd like to say that
Not really.
it's springtime.
You know?
Please.
Don't have to do any music. Am I overdoing it with the music? Probably a bit. I found this great resource to find all this free copyright-free music and some really good stuff. So now I'm playing it all, and I won't have any left. Yeah.
I got loads of good music, Ollie. If you want a good thing, I can always play one.
Yeah, but you can't. Yeah, but it's all copyright. It's all copyright. That's the thing. Yeah. So anyway, everyone's going to bed. That's what they're saying in the comments. Everyone's going to bed. Good. Good night.
My love. It's been great having you on, Ollie.
Hey?
It's been boring without you coming on every night.
Well,
yeah, it has. Lots of people have said it.
Dialysis, and I've been going to a lot of doctor's appointments. I had an echocardiogram I had to go to. I had, of course, my class today, and then I've got surgeries on Monday. I've had to go to I did end up going to the doctors. I've just been super busy lately, and after dialysis I'm wanked, so there's no way I could have done anything.
No.
I thought you could ask Jeff. I've been falling asleep on him like left, right, and center. I mean, it's like we're having sex again.
Right.
You know, but
Wow.
Almost bloody choked then.
That Lopi. She's the one. She's the one.
There you go. I just would have been really, really.
Now, come on, Lopi, tell the truth. I gave you the best 3 minutes of your life.
One of the action, spit two of it trying to get dressed and undressed.
Well, he's boiling an egg. Mm.
Oh, sex is an egg timer.
Isn't it?
Oh, dear.
I don't know. I've forgotten all about that.
Go on, Carl, for God's sake, improve the tone.
Just something a bit funny what made me chuckle. The Count Duckula, the Scottish comedian, Mark McKeon, whatever he's Mark McKeon.
Oh,
Yeah.
Isn't it brilliant? He's had that much coverage for what's gone on.
Yeah.
He can actually go to the High Court and get a really nice solicitor and actually say,
Oh.
I thought it's brilliant.
Can say what? Can say what? You cut out as soon as you said what he could say.
He's basically I think he's been taken under his wing, hasn't he, by a few people on the media. So he's got a lot of media coverage, and people have been donating money to him. So he's earning enough money to get a good solicitor. So when he goes back to court and has a proper trial with people being there instead of just a magistrate, he's actually contesting it. What he's guilty for, isn't he? Going for appeal, and he's actually earning enough money by people helping him out. And what coverage? He's a comedian. He's going to get the best coverage he's ever wanted, isn't he? He wanted to be popular. He never thought it was going to be this way. And he's got Tommy Robson helping him out, being there, helping him publicise what he's doing. But he's earning money, mate. He's getting money together to get a good solicitor to take it to court properly. I think it's great. Funny.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah.
Very good.
Count Duckula.
That guy Count Dankula, he shouldn't be in jail. I mean, for that.
It's a silly name, isn't it? Why is he called Count Dankula?
I don't know, but even on his sketch, he said, "I'm not a racist, by the way." He said, "I'm just doing it to piss my girlfriend off, like you do." You know, he just trained his dog to do this Nazi salute and things like that, just to piss his girlfriend.
Oh yes, I read that.
Is she a bit of a snowflake?
He said blatantly, "I'm not a racist." And
Who's he? Is he married to Diane Abbott?
It's more left wing than right wing, and it's typical that
She
somebody
wouldn't
from the
like
left wing who's a comedian who's Scottish is actually getting done to a point of freedom of speech or freedom of comedy. Who determines what's funny, what's not? The Post had something like 4 million people and no one complained. It was the police employed a body and asked them to see what they thought about it.
And they said
because of that, they acted upon it. So the police have ordered a body to look at it and let them judge on it. But no one's complained on Facebook or anybody. There's a lot of comments. There's things in comments where people might say it's derogative, but no one actually complained or.
And apparently, Carl,
It is again what Jeff said earlier, actually, about coming back to again political correctness. But
yeah, they said that context in the court. They said context is irrelevant or something in his case. So, in other words, it doesn't matter what you say. It doesn't matter what context is in. If they deem it's wrong, they'll make an example. And that's what, quite frankly, they just made an example of him, as if to say, anybody breaks our rules of political correctness, they're going to get the book thrown at them. That's what they're doing. They're just trying to frighten people into being quiet.
yeah, I think so.
I could get done for telling Ziggy that I'm going to eat her when she pisses me off.
I'm sorry. What?
Basically.
What? Who's Ziggy? And why would you eat her?
Yeah, I make a joke because, I'm Asian, and Asian people tend to eat like weird shit like
cats and dogs.
And whenever Ziggy gets on the nerves, I tell her I'm going to eat her. I'm going to chop her up and put her in stir fry, and she runs away.
Ziggy's her pet cat.
Not surprised.
You can see me for that.
But so if somebody heard me say that and didn't know I was joking about, or just talking to Ziggy,
What else do you say to
I
her?
could get done for that.
Crikey.
Poor cat.
Well, they could say, Lopi, that you're not. They could say that, although you're not racist, they could say that speciesist.
Catist.
And then, you know,
Feelist.
that's politically incorrect, so we're going to throw you in jail.
She's feelist.
Beastist. You beastist.
Yes. You beastly beast.
I could never do anything to her. I always.
When you're calling your cat and you say din dins, does it run off or does it come to you?
Whenever I get really upset and I say something like that to her, she always goes to the other room because she's done annoyed me to the point where I want to rip her fur off her face.
Being fried.
Remind me never to annoy you, Loopy.
Have we got a what?
When she wants a boyfriend, and she'll sit there and she'll scream in your face like, "I want a boyfriend."
I'd like a boyfriend.
I keep telling her boys are bad. All they do is diddle you and then leave you with 8 kittens. She don't believe me. They break your heart and leave you with a lot of problems, and then you're stuck wondering what was wrong with me.
Is that old joke? What was a man and what was a bear and a man got in common? Eats, shoots, and leaves.
Carl, you're breaking up, mate.
What did you say?
Isn't it?
You didn't miss much.
What does the panda bear? What does the panda bear? So what does the panda bear and a man have in common? They both eat, shoots, and leaves.
Both eat, shoots, and leaves. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, pretty good, Carl.
Yeah.
With that and before.
Someone did.
Penny will probably drop it.
Okay. All right.
Drop
I thought
it
that was pretty crap. Pretty crap. Yeah. Axiom Curb community. Individual people with mutual minds makes a world willing worth working at. But right now we have to keep going. Remember, whatever we do, we leave behind, as it's people yet to be born that suffer too. I was brought up, I think a lot of us were brought up to believe that it's not, you leave better than you find. You leave better than you find, yeah? I mean, I don't know. He's got over £100,000 or something, I don't know, war fund, says Paul Reesham, referring to Count Duckula. Yeah. And he's got support, says Dav, from John Cleese and Ricky Gervais. That's not how you spell Gervais, Dav. Gervais. Yeah.
Interviewed him.
Has he? I didn't know that Ricky Gervais was like on our side, basically.
I suppose he'd have
Tommy Robinson interviewed him coming out of the courts and was talking to him, and actually had a piece afterwards with him, and he actually said, what you need is some great comedian who's there, who's going to stand by you, and he's given him a platform to stand on, and I'll take my hat off to him for that.
Who?
I must admit.
Ricky Gervais has.
If you think about it, they'd have to give him support. Really, like John Cleese did a sketch called Mr. Hilter, and it was taking the piss out of Hitler. So, he could be just as thrown in jail for the sketches that he's done. I mean, he did the German sketch on Faulty Towers, wasn't it? Or about that. So that could be considered just as politically incorrect, couldn't it? So it makes sense.
Well, if you look at history, the BBC, the first colour televised programme on a television set by the BBC was a black and white minstrel show.
Oh, yeah.
Al Johnson.
It makes sense that all the comedians are getting. I mean, I love comedy. Comedy at the moment is dead because people are frightened to say one thing, or they're frightened to do one thing, but I mean, typically most comedy ridicules something, doesn't it, or some group of people. I mean, Jasper Carrot did it with Sun Readers It got to the stage where he couldn't take the piss out of anybody else, so he started ridiculing sun readers and ginger people and things. So, you know, I mean, what are you supposed to do? Are you supposed to not tell jokes? You've got to have humor in crying out.
Well, the BBC tried to remake 10 episodes of old programmes, which the satire would be deemed as incorrect or not PC today. And there's only 2 of them, which was Open All Hours and Porridge, which got the make of doing 6 programmes. Stuff got stuffed. They did one prototype, which we could watch. It was fairly funny, but because of the satire back in the days not there, it's not as funny. And they've lost that sense of humour. They've lost the English sense of humour.
Yeah.
That's right. I mean, look, they used to take it all the time. And the Irish didn't bother. It didn't upset them, did it? You know, they'd laugh along with us.
That's jokes about us too.
They're so drunk they didn't know what they were doing.
We all told Paddy jokes and Murphy jokes. And the Irish just laughed along with us. And I respect that about the Irish because, you know, they didn't get upset about it. They'd have a laugh with us.
Only because they didn't get the jokes.
Only because they didn't get the jokes. Good one, Ollie. Good one, mate.
Englishman. Yeah, didn't know what the word he was saying. Are you speaking of a good joke, Jeff?
That's Spike Milligan, yeah. He was a one. And also that Peter Cook, I mean, that judge sketch, now that must go down as the best satire ever, that judge sketch, where he's basically doing a skit about this judge that leads the jury, and it's directly after Jeremy Thorpe's trial, where he was gotten off for murder by the judge, basically leading the jury. Anyway. Yeah.
What do you think about Kenny Everett? He's doing things about the drag artist being taking the mick out of Mother Teresa and the nuns, and he's doing his drag act with it all. Can you imagine that today with any other religion? Or even, it's...
Do you remember that? Do you remember that? What was it? And it was all in the best possible taste.
Oh, my clothes fell off.
Did you ever see the Spike Milligan sketch, Ollie, where they had the Daleks there and... They were doing this put it in the curry thing. Remember that?
God, no. I don't remember that. No.
One with the Daleks, where he comes home and he says, you've just shot grandmother or something. And he says, I have exterminated her like this. And he said, put it in the curry. Put it in the curry. Pakistani Daleks, that's it.
Pakistani Daleks.
I forget what it's called, but it was a mixed family. The wife was an English woman, and the husband was a Pakistani or Indian, right? And their daughter was dating some other Pakistani Indian family, and the one of the sons. That was going outside to wait for the girlfriend's boyfriend's family, and come into the house and let the parents know when they're coming so they can be prepared, you know. And the next thing you know, he says all right, and the next thing you know, he comes running in, Mom, the Pakis are coming, the Pakis are coming. And the ironic thing is their Paki too. So
that's right.
I don't know what that is. But we used to level that. That is when humour was humour. And
right.
Marigold.
And it's not done with spite. I mean, that humour, you know, for your neighbours, the Welsh, the Irish, or the English, or whatever. It's not done out of spite, or at least it shouldn't be.
Exactly. It was all done in the name of humour. I mean, Love Thy Neighbour, example, wasn't it?
Yeah. Awesome.
There was a lot of that sort of stuff in there, and people like it. Nobody that.
Well, I firmly believe that since we're talking about equality here.
Is that what we're talking about? Well, that'll do.
That I think these Muslim guys that wear those white dresses should at least make them shorter and be more like Scottish, because at least us ladies would have something to look at when the wind blows up. Quite fair.
Nothing.
Yeah, I modified a joke actually.
Did you?
There's the Englishman, the Frenchman, the Mexican, and Donald Trump all on a plane, and the engines conk out, and they have to heave out all the luggage to make the plane lighter, and then they heave out all the seats, and then another engine conks out, and the plane's still too heavy. So the Englishman steps up and says, "God save the Queen," and he jumps out, and the Frenchman steps up and he shouts, "Vive la France," and he jumps out. And then Donald Trump steps up and says, "Remember the Alamo," and chucks the Mexican out.
Good that.
I thought you were going to say "Make America Great Again" and chuck them out.
Yeah, I modified it slightly. It's supposed to be, but I changed American for Donald Trump because I know how much he dislikes Mexico.
Stav says, he points out that Spike Milligan was born in India. I had heard that actually, yeah. Yeah, that makes... Yeah, it was a culture bloke. Axiom Curb community, yeah, that's what the terrorism is all about. Installing fear that freezes us in position. And they control the consciousness by doing false flags. Those vibrations they send out can tune masses of brains into any consensus they choose. I was thinking actually it would be good to do a show on G5. 5G.
Illegal.
Eh?
You said 5.
You're not local.
5G. What's the deal with... Go on, Carl.
There's a theory there with all the... in the atmosphere being like a hard metal they're putting up there. It's actually going to help the go up because it's a higher satellite, not the lower ones, which you're going to be going to. And there's a theory that the half the shit they're putting up there is what I call them, but they're hard aluminium metals or a form of a metallic, and they reckon it's going to be easier to take the broadcast across to bounce it around the world, and that's a theory. So yeah, that'd be interesting to jump into that. And,
Yeah, but the trouble is, Carl, surely what goes up will come down. So whatever they're putting to use that bounce signals around, then they're going to have to continually keep on spraying all this stuff into the atmosphere.
I'm following a girl called Claudia in America, and there's a lot of people in their chat, and she'll talk about what they're spraying there and put things up. And the comments, bear in mind how big America is, and they're all saying the trees are dying.
Yeah. Well, apparently this 5G, fifth generation cellular communication thing is going to be terrible. By what I've been finding out, it's killing off birds, small animals and birds. Things. I reckon it's going to damage the DNA of humans.
What I don't quite get with them putting this up in the atmosphere or hemisphere, they seem to be higher in the clouds, don't they? So it's got to be the hemisphere to fall down to create these clouds. But in jet stream of wind coming around here, which just means you're going to be putting all those chemicals in there. America's still spraying, going in the jet stream. I'm looking at other places thinking about these chemtrails, but it's not in southern Americas, and that's not in the jet stream, by the way. So if they did put these chemicals up there, it would come straight down.
Yeah.
I think they're spraying like America, England, even going into Europe. It's actually going into the main jet stream, so it's getting carried right around the planet very quickly, rather than being put in the top hemisphere or the lower hemisphere.
But even then, it can't stay up there forever, even if it gets put into the jet stream. And you said the word hemisphere. I think you mean stratosphere.
Where's the money? Where's the money coming from? I mean, I see it here. The chemtrails, to me, is very clear. Where's the money coming from for it?
We're paying this through our taxes, and it's the UN. What's that American? What was the American body? Through NASA.
It's the military.
We have a collaboration between different countries to paying into NASA, and it's NASA what's actually doing this, but it's not accountable to a single country, is it?
Well, I think they got to spend their money on something, haven't they? They're not on putting anything in space. They certainly never put anything on the moon, as far as I'm aware. That's just my opinion, but what do I know?
Green belt of the food of this world is because of that jet stream. Toxins in that jet stream, which I think they're actually doing rather than above the north side or the south side of the planet. And it's absolutely ludicrous. So like you're saying, it will fall and it'll contaminate your land.
Well, one of the theories that I heard, Carl, is that they're putting this all this aluminium out there to
suspend it.
Well, no, to make it so that. Well, one of the theories that I heard.
It helps to suspend it, apparently.
Well, apparently,
aluminium gives you the biggest dementia as well, so that's why they took it out of your deodorants and stuff like that, because it, never mind making tumours in women's chests, it actually causes dementia. So it might explain why now the biggest death cause in this country is actually dementia and not cancer anymore.
Apparently, Monsanto's making lots of aluminium-resistant GMO seeds for different plants and what have you, and it could be all part of it to contaminate the soil so much that the plant life dies off, and then you're relying on.
It's not just the plant life though. It's all the insects, it's the vertebrates, it's the worms in the soil. What keeps it aerate? It will make your ground stagnant.
Absolutely, it's all part of it. Yeah.
Have you guys seen any of the Dale Wigington videos on this stuff? Dale Wigington, yeah. He's quite an authority on chems, and he on one of his videos he was talking about what you guys were saying about how large tracts of trees are just dying. Kind of mysteriously, how much that has to do with it, but they take soil samples and they can see the difference after there's been a heavy chem inundation. They see a huge increase in the levels of barium, aluminium, lithium, and it's just incredible. I mean, where I am, because it's pretty cloud free, relatively speaking, you get to see the blue sky or not, because very often it is so murky with chem, and it is chem. I see it from they go up mid morning and then they are crisscrossing, and then it dissipates. And you see it turning into cloud. And on days when the weather would be that it would just be a stunning Mediterranean blue sky, you very rarely see those because of the chem.
I think they can try to normalize it on these type of things.
They do. They put it on the weather. I see it on the weather forecast. They've got a picture of, oh, look at this beautiful sky, and it's got chemtrails going off in the distance, and they put them in films and all sorts of things they do. But yeah, they do it on the weather. How cynical is that?
Yeah, and they even give them new names. They name them as types of clouds when they're not.
They have, haven't they? They've added new classes of clouds over the last 10 years or so.
Yeah.
It's just a joke. It's a joke.
Well, the thing is, I mean, you know, if they're normalising stuff, kids growing up, I mean,
Yeah, that's right.
Since the 1990s.
That's exactly it.
Since the 1990s, they're just going to
Wait for the oldies to die out, and then we've got fascism total.
Well, the kids will just think it's normal growing up. That, yeah,
They do. They're like the Hitler Youth. They are like the Hitler Youth. I mean, really, no? In terms of, I mean, Goebbels, that's exactly what he was trying to do, no? Basically to, that's what we're seeing now with these, we call them, I call them libtards or whatever. Basically, they are the equivalent, aren't they? It comes back to, again, Jeff, what you were saying, this political correctness, this disease that's, you know, poisoned people's instinct and natural thought process. And
I think intuition's taken a nosedive as well. And,
yeah,
you know, of natural ability to sort of distinguish between one thing and another. But
and how basic is that?
And one thing they've seemed to have done in the schools is they're like giving everybody A+ on their results. Now, either they've all become geniuses overnight, all these young kids, or the level of exams have been reduced to such a low level that everybody passes. You know, that's what I think, the latter, personally. But definitely doesn't seem right to me because, I mean, you know, that all these people will be getting these high-level exams. Something not right.
To think. That's the problem. They quit teaching children to think. They've started teaching children to follow orders and to believe what they say. We have to remember that none of these children, unless you are at least 35, you would not know life without internet.
Yeah. Well, they're teaching them what to think, not how to think.
All your life.
Look, guys,
you know?
guys,
Yeah,
you know what? I've got about 12 minutes, 15 minutes maybe before the stream will die because it's the 4-hour limit with Facebook. And so I'm going to finish the show before then, like in the next few minutes. And so I just wanted to, you know, say thanks for popping in and, you know, and
it's a pleasure to be on the show, Ollie. It's good that you've got this show up and running, and I think it's going to be a breath of fresh air, to be honest. You know, people can just basically talk on what subject they like. It's great, isn't it?
Thank you for having us on, and thank you for coming back to us. We've all missed you very much without our daily dose of Ollie and our daily chaos, Brexit, whatever you want. Yeehaw!
Thanks,
I
Loki.
think you've actually done the right thing here, Ollie, because I've talked with people when I'm out and about and people I've grown up with and can be more socialist. And when I was saying, when they say, what's the programme called? And I'm saying Daily Brexit, they're like, oh. And I said, honestly, I can walk you through it. You won't get picked on. Everyone's respectful. And they won't do it. So by calling it Daily Chaos, I think there's more chance of getting people with that and bring them in, as long as they're not trolling and being horrible, just to get their perspective. I think it's brilliant. I think you've done the right thing, Ollie. So, and thank you for having us.
Oh man,
yeah,
God
you're
bless
a breath of fresh air, Ollie. Thanks for having us, mate.
God bless you. God bless you. Lopi, do you fancy a bit of a dance? A bit of a dance. Dance. Look. Oh, here we go. Oh. Oh, yeah. All right. Blimey. Hold on. This is the new outro. This is the new outro music. Better get used to it. Thank you very much, everybody. Thanks, guys. God bless you. God bless you. And everybody that popped on tonight and had a chat in the comments. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Don't forget the tagline.
Hey, Savloy.
The tagline. Don't forget the tagline.
Tabloid. Oh. 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 Oh.
Tagline, Ollie.
Tabloid. Is that what he says? Is that what he's saying?
No, I'm saying you usually say plutocracy.
Oh, God, bloody right. Yes. Yes. Here's to us a bugger plutocracy. Yes. This has been the Daily Chaos. It isn't daily, but the chaos is. And I'll be back on Monday. Oh yeah, no, that's a good point. That is a good point. Actually, I've got a question here. So I was wondering about maybe instead of being at 6, being at 7. Would that be any different?
Easier, most probably.
Hey?
It's probably easier.
You think so? Bit better?
Yeah, I'd imagine so. You're going to be crashing in on other people's shows. You're not bothered anymore.
Well, it's only Farage, and he never talks about 10:45 anyway. 10:48. Yeah.
Get on here, Ollie. Get Farage on here.
He won't come on. He knows what I'll ask him. Yeah.
That would be good.
It would be great. He won't come on. Brino. It's chaos. It's chaos. What can I say? Ordo ab chaos. So a big cheers to Sam Jayne Pearson and Alexander Sangmoore, who I don't know where they buggered off to, but they're kind of co-hosting now. Yeah. It's going to be interesting. Takes all types. Yeah, so anyway, that's been the Daily Chaos. I am Olly Connelly, and I'll see you on Monday at about 6.
Love you, Pete.
Cheers, Lopi. God bless you. Have a lovely weekend, everybody. Oh, I think it's nearly over. Thank God. Oh dear.